Are we muted? We are muted. Yeah, I know how it is. All right, we've been the stream has been in the mute zone for a couple of minutes. I'll fire this up. If we want to keep talking about vintage story, I don't care.
I kind of want to keep going because it's like I can't be able to talk to Omega this for literally like 8 hours.
It's true.
So like I have to talk about it now, or it's like it's just never gonna get said. It's just kind of stew into a problem.
Go ahead,
later,
fire it out. Fire it out. That's okay. I understand.
Like, the thing about, I get lucky like this does this thing. It's just I kind of wish we could put limiters on it because I feel like that makes the problems not happen. Because I feel like Lucky is the fucking the fire that burns the powder all the time.
I mean, yeah, that is kind of how Lucky is. He is the throw himself into something guy, and like we can outpace it. I do kind of feel like when there are games that I feel like we do leave off when specifically Lucky gets bored with them, because I sure can't get anybody to play fucking Dark Tide with me, even though I keep mentioning it's getting updates. But sometimes you gotta do stuff, you know, on your own and stuff. And like I said, there's work in Vintage Story, and then there's like I give myself quote unquote work because I'm like, no, I want this block to be a very specific way. I want to build the museum out of ancient blocks, which means I need to acquire chalk rocks, not chalk stones. Because Vesper, this Vintage Story game is like, oh no, it's bullshit that you can get blocks back. You break up a rock with a pickaxe, it turns into stones. You can't turn those back into smooth stone rocks.
Well, yeah,
obviously. It's like Minecraft, but more so. So it's like,
well,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, like if you want to make something into stone, if you want to make like cobblestone into smooth stone, you have to burn it, remine, you have to burn it, reset it, and then you have to mine it with a silk touch pickaxe.
That's another thing we have. Enchanting is it's cool, but it's super slow. We need so much resource for it. We're not getting enough temporal gears. But yeah, no, like I understand some of it, but it's also just like I think Lucky himself kind of like ebbs and flows. Like some of his decisions in the shop and stuff. We have a playable shop. We installed the mod to simulate an economy.
They've been yapping about this for like 10 minutes before we even started stream chat.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's a thing. It's a thing I've
been
thinking about.
No. It's like you said, Axe. You're gonna go away partway through the episode and not talk to me again for like 8 hours. So it'll be
okay.
It's
or like 6 or like 5, but like it's still 5. It's still like
fine. It's several hours. Let me actually grab the image I want to talk about as well, because we're gonna do. Hey, it was a Patreon poll. We're gonna do hieratics.
Anyway, I get to be a bit longer, so I'm okay for that, I guess.
I'll throw something up on stream for chat to follow along with because we got
Yeah,
a couple
feels
of lists to
fast.
talk about. But yeah, no,
Yeah. Banlist chat.
there's a lot of
Genesis is
a
a
lot of
thing.
room in that too. Yes, I've got that set up as well. But yeah, vintage story. Like I understand. I felt a little burnout, but usually I feel like when I approach that level because I think I do have a little bit of a different tolerance than you do, X. I usually the moment I start to feel a little like put out or kind of, ground down is I don't actually usually say it out loud. I probably should say it out loud a little more, but usually that's the moment where like
actual problems.
the server like psychically, Lucky and the others psychically sense it and usually start to roll it back a little. So I've kind of like ebbed and flowed. I think the main thing is just that like I don't know. I feel like sometimes, and I don't know, it may just be that, that's not something that for default vintage story you are interested in. Not all games are for all people, unfortunately, all the time. But it's gonna say that like, it may just be that you need like less. I don't know. I want to say tech-oriented, like long-term goals.
I like making stuff. I just don't want to I don't want to do fucking pharmacology, or no, I don't want to do fucking ecology.
And that's fine. And honestly, I think we have some ideas. If you don't mind smithing the same things over and over again, like the repair kits, and I did finally figure out how to put fucking. I know. It's so funny, Vesper. You started this by saying like I've just come off a heck of a stream. I'm exhausted. If I tried to explain the bits, I think I would just be talking nonsense. And here, me and Axe are talking like a couple of medieval peasants in our secret society. But hey,
Okay,
Axe,
well,
I figured
okay,
out how
Omega,
arrows work. You have to put them on
Omega,
the tool rack.
Omega, we have reliable. Listen, we have commerce, and we have we don't have a lord, and we make fucking iron and making steel. We're not medieval age. We're like the era to pass that.
It's true. We have guns. We're crazy.
Well,
you guys have guns.
I've been streaming.
Try to be a commercial.
PokeDuel. It's a like ROM hack of Fire Red where all the Pokemon are Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, and it kind of just like it kind of just vibes for a bit. We've introduced some like interesting like unique moves. Like there's a Lord of D whose entire gimmick is that he sits on the board, buffs your dragons in your party, and swaps out to super buff that dragon. It's actually like it is like really cool like unique mechanics.
That's cool.
That's cute. That's cute. I should look at this. I'm kind of mid on Pokemon
I'll send you a
ROM
link.
hacks, but it sounds
I'll send
interesting.
you a link after.
Right.
It has been really fun, and it's the first like gym up to there is like normal. It's just Pokemon. Then you get to Mount Moon, and you run into Giovanni making a pact with the rare hunters to find pieces of Exodia, and then their Team Rocket runs up. It's like, hey boss, what about our bonuses? Because like I need to file my R. I need to know my tax bracket if I get my tax bonus. It's like for my tax forms. And then she no, I'm not finished. And Giovanni turns to Odeon and says, "Send this dumbass to the Shadow Realm," and he kills him.
Okay,
kills the grunt for asking about his fucking tax bracket.
I mean, you work in the Pokemon. I don't think there is a tax bracket for you.
That's the best.
Okay, yeah, no, that's great. No.
Illegally.
I've tried to play a
sideswipes you
little
out
of Pokemon
nowhere.
Fusion, but
It sideswipes you out of nowhere
It's
because
fun.
it's just like, oh, you go talk to all the old guys and they're Yugi boomers. Like it's a very
Okay,
like
this is
lighthearted,
big-
silly
okay.
ROM hack.
Okay,
And then that happens, and you're like, oh, we're doing shit in this ROM hack. Okay.
Okay, I didn't say a thing here. This is a hill I will die on forever, and people hate me for it. I think Nintendo heads are just the video game version of Disney adults.
We can get into a different time.
I
Honestly.
think this product was made by a person that is a Nintendo head, but also plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
There's so much we can like. We could go down that rabbit hole.
I don't.
forever.
The rabbit hole of like video game fandoms in general is a little correct. We do not need to go down that. Let's talk about a ban list
let us
instead.
fuel it.
Let's talk about this because we got a couple to run through. One is very simple. Because we're really, man, Yu-Gi-Oh players do like their terminology, even if sometimes they forget stuff. Because like, a circular, a poplar. I'm pretty sure there were cards that did those before those, but In fact,
They
I think
became the
there was
iconic ones for doing it.
Yeah.
For
I think
doing
literally it
everything
was
at
either
once.
one of the Rockets or one of the Salomon greats was like did the Poplar thing before Poplar. But nobody
Might have been
remembered
Gazelle,
it for
wasn't
that.
it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think it is Gazelle's like that and stuff like that. But this is technically what we call an emergency ban list, even though I do
Yeah.
not think that the TCG was in like a crisis. But
By-
historically, we refer to ban lists that occur out.
Yeah, I saw a stream
OBS is
buffering
back.
for a second.
All right, OBS is back. Excellent. Good, because that means that my joke will land. Chat, that is 8 Hitlers found dead in the street.
So true.
Yeah, this is the, like, you know, that one gif of smoking a cigar, rip bozo. Like,
It is
this is
it's
the
17,
most
isn't
ban
it?
list of that all time.
I am so happy D-Barrier is gone. I hate that card.
The
So,
barrier
yes,
is just like shitty tax. Like it's the shitty like tax cards, that just, or not even tax cards. Like cards that show up and just say no, stop. Like
It's the ultimate
floodgates are
dumb, you know, lingering floodgate side deck card of all time. So yeah, here's the list. You've looked at it longer than we have been looking at it, chat. But just to if you're, you know, if you've put your phone down to look at something else, to play another video game on the side, since I was talking about that's what I do to just zone out and build in buildy crafty games. Arch Nemesis Protoss back on the list. Thank God. Don't know why they fucking let that guy off. Fuck him. Mjolnir sent to hell. Thank you. You've told that one particular type of K9 deck that summons this guy to your opponent's board to go fuck themselves. Stop summoning cards to your opponent's board.
yeah no like cards like excluding maybe the Ojamas because it's funny.
Yeah.
Cards that are designed to summon themselves to the opponent's board state never are doing good things, chat.
Well, and like the thing about the Ojamas is that like those are still like literally I was playing a guy in ladder today because they just released the new Dragon Maid shit in Master Duel, including a new bundle with a collection binder and Dragon Maid cosmetics that's technically time limited, but it's time limited for like 2 months. It's until like December. So you know I had to be in there on ladder. I had to be playing my goats, Mimigul. Konami, if you're listening, Mimigul really needs a back row blow up because I was fighting stun guys in bronze and it sucked ass. But I play Link monsters, so I defeated playing multiple Ojama duos. You just link them away. It's nothing. Just link them away. Who cares? Like, you know, that summons to your opponent's board, but they're technically generic tokens, so depending on your opponent's extra deck, they can just get rid of them. But summoning monsters to your opponent's board generically is bad. I mean, obviously it was intended to be a stun effect since, what's-her-face, Corruptor Ibli, but, like, also, there's so many... I think the only way they can, like, unfuck that effect is just to, like, every single archetype card that does it has to say, the owner of this card. The person who owns this physical Yu-Gi-Oh card can't special summon except the blah, blah, blah archetype. Like, you'd need some sort of sweeping, you know, change, but that would be way too much of a pain in the ass in printing costs. So, when a problematic combo exists, you gotta send them to jail forever. So, goodbye, Mjolnir. Similarly, I think we're at... Are we at 3 out of 6 or 4 out of 6 barrier statues have been sent to hell?
Let me open up the the full ban list because now I'm
because
not sure.
Draughts and Infernos have been blocked. If you're curious why, chat, it's basically the same reason why Stormwinds got. Stormwinds was a level 4 winged beast.
Forbidden List is not updated on the website, and I just see Stormwinds. So that is 3 barrier statues to prison forever.
Okay. I think Torrent has spent time on the list before, but is not currently banned.
I believe
but
so.
Would not be shocked if it did go back. The reason why specifically Drought and Infernos have gone on the list is if you're playing rank 4 slop, aka some combination of Onomats and or Ryziel and or Mitsu and or Exorcister, I guess, with Spirit. Basically, any rank 4 engine. If you don't use your normal summon, you can just search Drought with Gallant Granite. It's a level 4 rock. And you can make Infernal Flame Banshee, and because Inferno is a level 4 Pyro, so you can just search them and normal them. And it's just, like, clearly the game is not meant to be run this way. Fossidinely Pachycephalo is also a rock, so it is also searchable off Gallant Granite, but it is even more of a fucking asshole than Statue of the Drought. That guy got banned in Master Duel. It is deserved. I hate that stupid guy. I want him
Currently,
to die.
I do not see any other barrier statue having had time on the ban list before Storm
Really?
wins.
I thought Torrent took a trip, but okay.
I can check OCG too, but
it's the state of where just like these types of, because they're level 4 or lowers of a certain type, anytime they will be free summons is annoying. I assume Statue of the Torrent is an Aqua, so that could be problematic.
OCG is also the same. Let me check. Torrent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an Aqua.
Okay, yeah, so like that could be problematic. I'm gonna assume Light and Dark are gonna be Fiend and Fairy, because of course they are. So that could be bad, but also that feels like there's enough room in there. We were talking about already, Dimensional Barrier sent to prison. People have been asking about this like for literally 5 years. I think when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2020, again, like technically pre the COVID boom, but it was part of the COVID like content boom that kept me coming back.
It was in that area where all of us kind of got back in and like we did our progression series.
Yeah. But I think people have been asking since then for Dimensional Barrier to be banned, and yeah, like
it's kind of always been a problem.
It's a card like Eradicator, where it's just like it had to be banned because not even what Labyrinth does with in-archetype cards, but generic stuff like Trap Trick, Trap Track, Trap Tracks, I think is pluralized as a separate card. But there's like 3 to 5 different normal traps, which just get you any normal trap in the game. And so even just one D barrier is just, you can just as part of your combo search a D barrier, and it's like the only one that matters. Just add it to hand.
Abyss is Fiend and Heavens is Fairy. So
all right, good call for me. But yes, so barrier going is a pretty good pick. And Ouroboros specifically is, because it's not a once per turn, I believe, or it's part of another strategy, is, again, rank 4 spam decks can make it and start hand ripping.
It's the same reason he got hit in Genesis. Spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, so he's just a hand rippable guy. And that's not great. We don't like that. So last week, first of all, this was called an emergency list because it came out of nowhere. We had no idea this was going to happen. This was announced like this preceding weekend to go into effect yesterday on Monday, and just happened. It was crazy.
It just dropped Saturday, didn't it? Like just went like, oh, yeah,
yeah, I think it was like a Friday or a Saturday, and they were just like, list, we've posted it, and we're just like, what? Huh? Like I said, kind of an emergency list. For Genesis, they telegraphed last Monday, hey, by the way, on the 27th, we're going to release a new point list. We'll probably have more detail for you then because we're fine-tuning it exactly. But here's why we're adjusting certain things. So they not only called their shot a week ahead of time, but they also pre-explained the hits, which we will look at shortly.
So, I do want to point out one hilarious part of the list that we likely won't discuss, but it's just really funny. I believe it was... Oh god, it was Ninja and a different deck that got their points lower because they realized, hey guys, in testing there was just like one guy fucking dunking on us with their Ninja deck. So,
yeah,
like,
they
overpriced them.
They did talk about like some themes, some archetypes be coming down in cost because they said that in internal testing they were rated higher than they were, and they telegraphed heavily it was Glad Beasts. So yes, if you were curious why Gladiator Beasts and Ninja had point costs at all in this format, it's because apparently somebody was saucing them with Glad Beasts, which I'm not that shocked by. I think Hardleg got to like Master 5 with Glad Beasts like last couple of months. Like that was one of his last ones. So like
it's not
it's
wholly
a functional
shocking.
deck.
It's not wholly shocking. It's a sign that we discuss in like infrequent frequency is a good way to phrase it. Of like sometimes in the test room, the guys just won't find combos that like a player base of like tens of thousands will just by sheer number of hours they can put into the game compared to their full player base.
Yeah.
Sometimes testing can really show bits and bobs about how things can shake out. Or I could also show you, oh man, this could be great if the deck draws well. I'm basically just being salty about my fucking test.
No. Off camera, Loth was a demon. He defeated us many times. On camera, Loth was unfortunately, factually, the worst scoring member of our prog series. It was really weird. But yeah,
Didn't help that I
that
was also dealing with the pressure of, oh man, Loth is gonna kick our ass. Oh wait, never mind.
yeah, it's true. We probably compared to off-camera Loth a little bit, but you did sauce us a few times. It was a little freaky.
Sometimes it just felt insane, like how a deck you made that wouldn't brick somehow did the one configuration out of thousands that would brick.
Well, that's one thing I think I've learned over my 5 years back in this hobby, possibly for good. There's no such thing as the unbrickable hand. You say to yourself, I've built the deck to not brick. That's the moment you're going to lose the coin flip and go second, and then you draw, and you're like, ah, cool. If I was going first, this hand would be godlike, but it's oops, all starters. My opponent's going to build a board, and they're going to clean my clock. And it's just like, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. However, I do want to say that whoever is writing these blog posts is incredibly based. They promoted what is probably my favorite phrase about Yu-Gi-Oh! That I think will, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players loving their nomenclature, will instantly slip into everybody's parlance, their language. They talked about how one of the things they're going to increase is they're going to increase the cost of certain cards related to various online FTKs, further banishing their players into the unrealistic clickbait combo dimension.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Yes, those are words that are written on the blog. They called out everybody who posts, clickbait combos on YouTube. They were just like, yeah, this is the unrealistic clickbait combo dimension. We're sending you there. Like, and that's just like the most perfect way to describe it. Because that's what it is. Like, you show somebody, like MBT sees these all the time, right? When he talks about new cards, PogChamp, somebody will be like, here's the combo. And they like go in Dueling Book and shuffle back all but one card and show it off. And MBT just sits there and nods and says, yes. So what do you do if your opponent plays Nib or Droll or, Ash? And it's just like, yeah. So like, it looks cool on paper, but it's not going to work. So they sent a lot of cards there by adjusting their costs. Also, I didn't know this because I'm not on Dueling Book at all these days, but MBT talked about apparently there was a version of the Master Duel, like, original DD Dynamite, like, FTK going around on, like, ladder on Dueling Book, which you'll see DD Dynamite is now 51 points, and so is Banquet of Millions. So, I think the Genesis team, like, they could never say that they look at Dueling Book, but they look at Dueling Book, chat. They know what you're doing online.
Oh yeah, no, like this. So far, I have been genuinely impressed by the Genesis team, like, taking this very measured and just a very, very measured and persistent approach with trying to balance Genesis, because it being point systems, we no longer have 3 states of a card to be in. We have 101.
Yeah, because we start to 0 and go to 100.
Yeah,
and hypothetically, they even talked about this. They could cost cards over 100 to be playable in formats that are bigger than 100 points.
Yeah.
So like, there's room for them to price cards completely out of the format or make them accessible in larger costs. So everything I think in this first block is for the unrealistic clickbait combo dimension. All of these are FTK enablers. Reversal Quiz to 100. That makes a really good OTK deck. DD Dynamite Banquet of Millions. Black Garden lets you set up, certain burn FTKs by giving your opponent monsters.
Like
same
we
with,
said,
like,
cards that are designed to give the opponent monsters are never accomplishing good things.
Yeah. Beals went to 100. Thank God. I fucking hate that guy. And then
someone's always going to try to find a way to make that guy.
Blackwing, Bramble Rose, and Red Ice Flare Metal all went to 1 to basically make it so you can't play them with Beals, because that's like all of those are part of the Beals or Black Garden or whatever like activation burn combos.
Making some of these cards 1 points and like making the problem card 100 and all the pieces that can facilitate one, I think is a really funny way to point value, but it is the correct way to do it.
Yeah. No, I think it works out. So, Iwagishi Gustkraken to 100, Aquamir, Necromir, and Mind August to 1. Basically, people were able to, in Genesis, do the old school infinite Gust Kraken loops. Just Gust Kraken, Mind August back and forth forever.
The Gust Kraken loop never left. It was just never optimal. But because Genesis has had this like revamp of the format, people are once again trying to tout their infinite combos.
So Genesis's tagline is supposed to be, today's cards, yesterday's gameplay, and I think some people took that the wrong way. They took that as dig up your old shit, try it again, which, to be fair, on some cases is good. We're going to talk about Hieratics later, obviously, chat, and that's a really interesting deck because it was pretty cool for a Proto-Ixies format, but it's one of those archetypes that Konami super shot themselves in the foot because it is very specifically the Egyptian Ennead of gods. So even though there's about 9 billion Egyptian gods and several variations over the many millennia that ancient Egypt was around, they kind of used them all, so they would have to come up with some change in aesthetic to add more, which is a shame because this deck is actually like really cool. It's a cool concept of like dragons which tribute themselves and others, and has a lot of the like classical archetype tools from back in the day for an early Ixie deck, but also is like so outdated. I was super surprised, chat and fellow panelists. Hieratics don't have a field spell. Like they did not evolve far enough in the support to do that, which seems weird because that seems like a really good case to give them a legacy support staple on.
I mean, a field spell and a link one to search the field spell.
You already have the link too that's in a lot of decks. Seals Pass, he's iconic. But yeah, number 69 Heraldry Crest did a thing.
We're goated.
Question went to 11. They talked, and I think this is the same reason last year went from 75 to 100. They talked about this. They talked about pricing up cards that require extra judge interactions.
I believe Heraldry Quest is the combo with Ouroboros because Heraldry Quest copies another Xyz monster on the board and gets its effects. So therefore, it can then reuse Ouroboros' effect because it's a different iteration.
Yeah, it's a soft once per turn. Yeah.
A soft once per turn because it's only each version.
So yeah, makes sense that you can do it then. Okay, so that does track. And like I said, Question and Last Turn I think are both here on the same reason. And I want to bring this up because I actually replied to that tweet. But MBT posted a tweet after he reacted to this ban list talking about how he's not sure how to feel about the last turn point increase because, like, he's not particularly attached to last turn, but also was kind of like, isn't the selling point that you can play jank old shit? And I think that the reason why last turn is going to 100 is the same reason my Question is going to 11 because they're trying to discourage playing Question and playing, like, Monster Reborn so that you can basically shark your opponent and be like, hey, opponent, guess what? Because of Question, you're not supposed to double check your you're not supposed to shuffle your graveyard. You're supposed to know it exactly. You can't touch it. And then you call a judge and you get your opponent into trouble. And the judges don't want to do that. So Question is to 11 to discourage playing it because are you going to play a shark card at 11 points when you could be playing a real deck?
It's the same problem with Victory Dragon. Like, there are unfortunately very old Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are just they were designed from a different point of perspective of just, well, this is how the game is just designed to go. And in a competitive sense where every single player is trying to do everything in their possibility to win, you will get those guys who like aren't cheating but are definitely like finding the cracks in the system to try to scum wins.
Yeah, like we said, card sharking. And I think last turn is less about sharking or about judge interaction. So we all think it's very cute and funny that Stevie Blunder had to be followed around by a judge to resolve last turn because he was playing last turn Dynamorphia. And admittedly, last turn Dynamorphia, really cool cook in Genesis. However, chat, problem. Stevie Blunder's one guy. What if, 12 people out of like a 64-man tournament want to play last turn? What if they play last turn against each other? I don't think Genesis has enough judges for that. So, like, discouraging people playing last turn as, like, a pro strat, even for a meme, I think is beneficial to the format because they had a judge follow Stevie around and they still needed to call the head judge for certain like, they had to make on the ball rulings. Like, last turn sucks ass. There's a reason why last will is also already 100 points.
It is not necessarily Genesis going, do not play this. It's Genesis going, guys, like, okay, please don't play this. We don't have the manpower to, like, facilitate this. If this becomes a thing, please, guys.
Like,
please, guys,
because Genesis, like, if Genesis is taking off and they can do TCG releases themed around it, we could get a last turn with PCST with consistent modern rulings. Maybe they can put it back to 75. But right now, last turn is a little ambiguous and it's problematic. Like I said, they had to call a head judge to ask if you can Ash Blossom last turn.
Also, this is even accounting for. I'm just gonna call him Johnny Genesis now because like this is clearly like a guy or handful of people who kind of know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah,
like, I think we can say like they are emphatically trying to solve this or figure this out. It's again, they are trying to figure this format out. This is just starting. They don't like this. This is even with the one guy coming out and going, "Here's how last turn works. You cannot do that. You cannot do like the no monster resolution is an auto win. Like fuck that. Like we want to try to stop that. But even with that,
they
still a
basically
card that they've not fully
it's
developed the ruling
it's not
for.
updated. I do like at least that they like, and they phrased it as with modern rulings in mind. If we rewrote last turn, here's what we think last turn would say with PCST, which means that it is, a condition that your opponent must summon a monster. If they cannot summon a monster because it is a mandatory effect, you cannot activate it under anti-special summoning conditions because you cannot activate effects you can't resolve in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
So, like,
that alone,
even with that brand new scholarship of last turn, that's still not enough to resolve all its problems.
Yeah, like that. This is a testament to last turn, if anything.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure Last Will was started at 100 points in this format. Nobody batted an eye because Last Will is one of the weirdest Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever. So let's talk about some stuff they reduced in cost a little.
Yeah, Last was another fucking can of worms. Pre-mat to 7, pre-mat to 7 is kind of hot.
This is a crazy. They basically said, hey, we have some point reductions to tempt you into playing cards that we know are powerful, but people aren't playing anyway. Metamorphosis to 5. Genuinely, I think MBT might be right. I think he said this in his reaction video. I'm pretty sure these days Metamorphosis could come off the list. Oh no, you could turn any level 1 into Thousand Eyes Restrict. You can literally turn any level 1 into restricted anima.
Yeah,
who cares?
Metamorphosis.
Who cares?
Oh no.
It's someone surely gonna find like, oh, if a Metamorphosis is level 9 guy, I summon Dracula beyond the Nutcracker. That just insta wins me the game. Like, sure.
If the problem card is that you can last turn for Last Warrior, send Last Warrior to jail. Nobody's gonna cry.
Yeah.
We hate that guy.
Give Last Warrior
from another
a single
planet.
point. No, wait. Last Warrior
Save
already
Genesis.
has. Yeah.
No, Last Warrior is already pointed in Genesis.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in TCG. You could take. I'm talking about in TCG. You could probably put Metamorphosis to at least 1 these days, if not 3, because I genuinely don't think that it's going to be a problem. Now, Premature Burial, I do think you can't probably do that, but from 25 to 7, crazy reduction, very tempting. Premat is cheaper than Monster Reborn, which I do agree with, by the way. Obviously, Premat's a little more problematic because of the equip card stuff. I've talked about this before. I fucking hate Monster Reborn as a Saki one-of. It is God's most free advantage engine for, like, your opponent plays out half their combo, they get stopped, and they just go,
that is what it was.
Cool, I get a guy from my graveyard, from your graveyard, who cares? Free guy! And it's just like, cool, great, you had the fucking one-of. I love life.
Monster Reborn lives in my head rent-free because of that Fire Fist deck that I built, that I played in our Prague series, where I top deck a Monster Reborn into like full board, I win the game.
Yeah, that's the sack. It happens. And
yeah.
so, but still, at least at 10, I kind of feel like the odds that you're playing just 1 are very low. But pre-mat to 7, very interesting. A lot of people are saying a buff to Doomzed, because they can search equip spells. That's the new lore-related archetype that's all like season equip spell themed.
Like you said, I do agree with pre-mat being cheaper, because there is still an inherent cost in activating pre-mat of paying life points.
Yep.
And yeah, sure, you can cycle it, but without getting more life points, you can only cycle it so many times.
Pay 8, feel great. But yeah, no. Mirage of Nightmare 2, the big Zippo.
That one is like...
They really want you to try playing Mirage of Nightmare.
I'm sure Mirage of Nightmare is fine. I'm sure it's fine. But it's just one of those cards that everyone looks at and just goes, how was this card ever printed? How was this ever printed before?
I think the main thing is just that, like, with today, today's gameplay kind of a thing, or today's card pool kind of a thing, Mirage of Nightmare's slow. You gotta wait multiple turns to set that shit up.
It is slow is the crazy part. But it's still just like everyone reads it as like, this just says draw 4 though. Like of course I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, and I think that like this is clearly like they're arguably possibly undercosting Mirage because they want to see you play Mirage. They want to see people pilot Mirage and test it to see if it's good.
A lot of these low rings definitely are, like you said, they're tempting people to they are the Green Goblin mask trying to hand you the broken card to see if it's actually...
I mean, I feel like Mirage of Nightmare and also Card of Safe Return to 33, meaning you can fit 3 of them in a 100. Zombie's pretty free, I think, chat. I would double check how free it is, but yeah, Cards of Safe Return to 33 is absolutely a Green Goblin move. It's like, play Cards of Safe Return. You know you want to draw cards.
You want to go infinite.
You want to make a judge rip their hair out.
No, I mean, Cards of Return's not even that bad.
And I think that similarly, they have like halved the point cost of all the big back row removals. Feather Duster to 15, Heavy Storm to 10, Lightning Storm to 20. I think that they did correctly point cost those high, but they are right that they probably costed them a little too high, so people were not side decking them in. Or even playing them main, and just kind of like... It's one of those things where, like, if we're concerned about back row decks being a little too strong, like, if you're concerned about your opponent setting up stuff like Cards of Safe Return and whatnot, depending, you might be able to do some board wipes, before they set up, or not, because they are on your turn only. So I think putting them out there is very interesting. Impulse to 25... Still a little pricey to play Dominus cards, but there are several ways to stop draws in this. One thing, spoiler chat, Droll and Lockbird's price did not change one way or another. It did not get cheaper. It did not get more expensive. Droll is still 7, which is a point of contention, I want to say, in the Genesis community. That's actually controversial. People really can't make up their minds whether or not, like, is Droll the check to the unrealistic clickbait combo dimension, or is Droll a lingering floodgate asshole who needs to go? People cannot, like, as a collective, make up their minds. I personally think... Go ahead.
I personally think yes.
I think
it can be both.
Yes, I think that's similar to what I was going to say. I was going to be like, I understand the argument for Droll being good, and I think it is important to have cards like Droll in the format. I also just think the game design of cards like Droll is bad, the lingering floodgate type thing. It's important that Droll exists, but also the way Droll is written means that he gets to be really unfun quite a lot of the time.
It's sadly this double stated of like, I mean, yeah, his effect does, like it checks the board state. It does fix problems, but it's still a problem in of itself. Like Droll still causes the problem that very few cards can do, that there's no possible interaction around it happening, really.
And, like, the cards that stop it are, possibly correctly, point costed pretty high in this game. Like, Crossy and Called By are pretty expensive. crossout designator, you know, and I think call by is like 40 or 50 points. So like the cards that stop Droll from being resolved are pretty weak. And I think the main thing with Droll is usually adding a card to your hand is pretty early in your combo. So like, unlike say like a Nibiru check, it's hard to build a anti-Droll card into your board because you have to summon a bunch of guys without adding a card to your hand, then make a negate, and then keep comboing. Like, it's a weird one. Speaking of which, by the way, Nibiru the Primal Being from 10 to 5. This is another one where I think they're trying to tempt you. Like, I think Nib is an okay card. 5 might be a little cheap, but people were already thinking about siding it at 10. If we want to, like, change up that, like, I think they talked about this as, like, a lot of people's decks or side decks or point spends in general were looking a lot of the same. So, like, changing that up so people feel like they can pick different things. Same with several of these others. Ghost Ogre from 5 to 3, Ghost Mourner from 7 to 3. Both of these are good hand traps, but definitely, like, making them a little more affordable means that you... It's no like, it truly was, like, Droll or bust, I think, in the first version of the point list. So, like, making these guys a little cheaper is not going to hurt the game in the sense that it's going to... Also, sorry if you hear the music shifting. It's... YouTube changed their fucking, like, UI, so the volume indexer is, like, smaller now, and it's annoying to scooch. I'm trying to turn that down a little. It's a little loud in my ears. But no, like, they're changing up what hand traps you can play, which is probably for the better. Ceruvus also is technically a hand trap.
What?
Ceruvus. It's a ritual monster, but also it's...
Yeah, I probably said Saruya, and my brain short-circuited.
No, that's a different guy. I think
Wait
that guy is
second.
point costed. But also, they reduced Baron from 85 to 80. Probably fair. 80's probably still, like...
Oh, yeah.
Expensive.
I remember Saurus. Yeah, okay.
He's a weird one. And the next is...
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, Baron down is fine. The next block of hits, I think, is what they talked about of, like, hitting a lot of generic options that are in everybody's deck. Lots of people were just playing generic deep draw shit, so Upstart from 0 to 3. So you can still easily fit 3 Upstart in your deck, but if you're also playing a lot of other draw power, you have to make cuts somewhere. Trap Trick, I mentioned before, is going to 3. Extrav was 0, and they're putting it to 10. Probably a good idea. Same with Brow to 3. It's to stop deep draw decks. Brow is the Dark World that says if it's discarded, draw a card. If your opponent discarded it, draw 2 cards. Doing an interesting thing, we're increasing the cost of Impulse, who was kind of sort of a hand trap. You can summon him in response to your opponent activating a thing.
I mean, I feel him going to 5 is fine. Like yeah, I do know other Rescue Ace cards are a hit, but I think Impulse going to a 5 is still on par with, like, what hand trap should be, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think Genesis is correctly saying that, like, you probably should not be playing archetype cards as, like, a splash of a hand trap just because it's the cheapest. They want to avoid that kind of thing where people are just playing something to play it. And they did try and compensate Rescue Ace a little by dropping Airlifter to 5. So they're trying to, like, even up the point cost for the Rescue Ace deck so that you can't play, like, Snake Eyes Rescue Ace, basically, I think is what they're trying to stop you from doing by giving Rescue Ace and Snake Eyes cards a certain amount of points. Similarly, they said they were talking about a bunch of Solemn, like, Judgment or Strike-S cards. Dragon Mind is a card where you can stop your opponent from summoning. If you have a big dragon, they went to 7 points. Scolding has gone to 5 points. Iron Thunder's gone to 5. There's some interesting stuff they've goofed around with. Super Poly from 10 to 13. Probably an okay pick. Super Poly is arguably pretty cheap in this format, but also I think most of the good Super Poly targets are expensive. So it's always a thing of, like, you have to do the cost-benefit analysis of, like, okay, is it worth it for me to play, 2 or 3 Super Polys in my deck and play the Super Poly targets in my extra deck, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, Super Poly being 13 is... I think it's fine. Yeah, like, I do feel like in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the Genesis hits, like they're measured, and sure, I obviously that no one's ever going to agree with every single hit, but I do feel like as a whole, these are all understandable adjustments.
Also,
at
shout out
face
to them
value.
for clumping all of these together, to talk about what they're talking about. Nash Knight being kind of a certain vibe. Evilzar Lars was just the best generic rank 6 in the game, apparently there was a lot of generic rank 3 stuff going on, which is why Grand Breakout and Terror Top got their points adjusted. Like, people were just, people were doing the thing that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they just staple engines together, and I think that, Genesis as a format is deliberately designed so that you do that less by making each step of a multi-engine deck cost points. The idea is you can't afford to build a 60-card pile deck of 41 card starters anymore. You can't do that in Genesis. You'll run out of points, and that's the point. You should ideally build one consistent strategy of maybe a couple of different, engines together that work together, rather than just be fuck it, we ball, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, there's. Ugh.
Let's see. There's a bunch of hits to Mitsurugi.
We killed Habakiri. Fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Kill him. I'm in a Habakiri. Lock him away.
I'm pretty sure I haven't perfected my Mitsurugi deck in Master, but I'm pretty sure Habakiri is the one that says that if he's tributed, blow up your opponent's board. You can also reveal him to add a Mitsurugi card and shit like that. So it's just there were players who were doing nothing but playing Habakiri Turbo.
Oh, jeez.
Why?
Just...
and that's why Manju and Senju went to 1, so you can't play them with Habakiri. They weren't even playing, the Mitsurugi rituals to even summon him. They were just, find him, search him.
Reveal this card in your hand, special Mitsurugi monster from your deck, tribute a monster you control. If this card is tributed, add a Mitsurugi card from deck to your hand, accept itself, then you special summon this card. So it just...
Okay, so it doesn't blow itself up, that's the other one. It just loops itself, basically, free mats.
It's infinite, it's infinite loops and advantage.
Yeah, so they basically cut the 2 cards that search him by making them 1 point and then make it 100 points, so they're stop doing that. Meanwhile, if you want to actually play Mitsurugi rituals, you can play them slightly better now because they've put ritual and prayers to 51 from 60. So they're you have a little more space in your deck to play some stuff, but you still can't be playing that other shit. Similarly, they've put a bunch of big OTK/FTK/lockout cards up. So they've reduced the cost of Draglubion and Crimson Dragon to 80, but they made a bunch of cards that you work with those to 21. Numeron Dragon to 21, so you cannot do the Draglubion Numeron Dragon OTK. And similarly, Crimson Dragon, they made Cosmic Blazar, Stardust Cipher, and Archfiend King Calamity 21 points. So you cannot cheat out those guys and also play Crimson Dragon.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting balance where they realize, okay, Blazer Cipher, Blazer Cipher and King Calamity, in of themselves, are still really powerful cards, and this feels more like a hit to the pieces than the actual it feels an adjustment to still keep this going, but they do want to hit the potential problem cards while also locking them out of doing the quick effect, the full turn skip concept.
Yeah, basically, if the way they've got the points adjusted, if Crimson Dragon goes from 100 to 80, which I think they are correctly signaling that, Crimson Dragon in of itself is not, an inherently problematic effect. It's just that there are a lot of big, scary level 12 dragons it can get that are really annoying. King Calamity, obviously, is a big one. But Blazar is a negate, 3 different kinds of negates. And I think Cipher is just every single card you possess the first time it would be destroyed, it isn't. Which, on a quick effect, properly synchro summon is, really annoying. Like, so they were like, okay, we want to make it able that decks can play Crimson Dragon because that can be an important part of actually getting out some of these big-ass level 12s, but we don't want it to make specifically the level 12 big dragons that are, what's the word? Not annoying, but like, I mean, they are annoying, but also like create problematic game states. And it's kind of the same with like the Dragoobleon and stuff.
Sticky cards, I guess, is just a good way to rephrase it. Like they're never hitting the board in a fun situation.
At least in combination with Crimson Dragon. If you're not playing Crimson Dragon, sure, fuck it. You can make Blazar.
Yeah.
Can you make Blazar with 21 points? Go for it.
Hitting some of the C's, like same thing. It's like, all right.
Yeah,
Chill
all
a
of
bit.
these are like, I think these are all like chill out hits. They were just like, stop playing Kaliga. We see everybody playing Flying and Retaliating Sea in their side decks. Stop that shit.
I do appreciate them going all barrier statues. Like we're not naming them all. You know them.
Yeah,
all.
they're just like, we're not typing them out again. We're not typing them out again. They're going from 60 to 70.
I mean,
if you don't know,
this is a format, like, it's a format for people that, this is not a format for newcomers, so it's like, it's not like they can't shorthand shit.
I mean, it kind of is supposed to be, I think, for like newer and returning players, but I do also think that it's supposed to be for like players who are familiar with the concept of Yu-Gi-Oh, but don't want to jump straight into TCG. Though obviously we haven't mentioned it yet, but jumping into TCG is easier than ever. They just cracked the spoilers on those new Legendary 5Ds decks, and it's basically Dual Devastator 2, chat. Common printings of every single Molcharmy and Forbidden Droplet, among other things, in a $30 box. Which is like it's taken them a few years to perfect it, but that's a crazy accessibility pull for the format. Like that is going to drive the prices down of a lot of those cards, I think. Which is good. We like that. But yeah, Flying Sea and Retaliating Sea were super common side deck cards that were cheap, so they were like, nope. And if you don't know, Grisal Prison is like the world's most bootleg dimension barrier. I think it's target like one monster, and it can't be used as like Synchro Xyz or Link material this turn or some shit like that. I think it's also might say Fusion there, probably. So yeah, they were just like, you can't play budget D barrier either. Well,
Yeah,
I mean you can play it, but
have to level it. Like we have to level it out though.
Yeah.
We're hitting Vanquish Soul.
Yeah. And then the rest of these, I think, are all just, hey, these are decks that are meta, and we're making them not meta. So Exorcister was really high level, even pre-support, so they're putting Pax, Michaelis, and Sayori Hime was the other Aritama extra normal summon card, so they're putting those all up. They put Holly Sue, Jonglong, and Raisin up because people were just... They even said this in the blog post last week. They were like, hey, so we noticed some of you basically instantly adapted your advanced format Vanquish Soul decks to Genesis. That's very cool of you. Stop, please. We've created this format so that you don't do that. So that decks that are like tier, like, 2 and 3 can survive.
Yeah, like they do want they do still want like powerful meta decks, somewhat leveled on the point scheme. They are like this is an alt format designed for alt play, not pure competitive meta currently.
And then there's a bunch of basically
some
YouTuber
variety.
taxes. Domain and Frenzy to 1 means that you can't play them with last turn now. You would have had to have made them like 30 points to box it out before, so this is, in fact, the Stevie Wonder text. All right.
I wish I had more to say, but like I was like juggling things in my head.
That's okay. We were just vibing on Genesis. It is how it is. We should probably do some Genesis decks sometime. I think I managed to build action in Genesis.
I would have some fun.
I need to
I
think
would
about
have
how
some
that
fun
works.
doing a Genesis.
You could probably get some Thunder.
I have never made a
Thunder
deck in a
Dragon stuff.
non-sealed environment.
You could I mean, you gotta. There's a points limit, so there is a cap to kind of limit yourself.
I mean,
you could try
but,
Thunder
like,
Dragons. They actually did. I will say this immediately before you go, X. They did a new trial duel, which was they went back to Master Duel's launch meta. One of the precons is Thunder Dragon. I played that. Easiest 3 wins in a row in my life. Played through multiple Macrocosmos. Like,
Let's see.
Thunder Dragon is actually pretty slick.
You don't actually go into extra deck that much in Thunder
Yeah,
Dragon.
no.
You just
I
play
got
around
max
the
seed and I gave
main
my
deck.
opponent one card. I made didn't even make Colossus. I made Titan and it was just like, okay, buddy.
I think Titan, I over this. I think Titan is better if you don't want to. If you don't need to be a dick about it.
Yeah, no. So like, Thunder Dragon is I think a legit deck. Colossus
Cool.
obviously was very annoying for his time.
How
but
many
yeah,
points
it
is
was
Colossus?
interesting. I think Colossus is pointed, but I don't think he's 100.
I mean, I don't think that matters. I'm never gonna play one of them really, because I don't think I'd rather play other things anyway. That probably cost at least some small amounts of points.
I know there is a point building app, so
I mean, it's like Aloof Lupine, 3 of most names, give or take some other things that I just need to look into.
the Chaos Creator.
One of those is fine. I don't think you need more than one of those.
No, you probably don't need more than one, but he's neat.
You need 3 Aloof Lupine and then 3 of all the
yeah,
other
yeah.
Thunder Dragons. Give or
No,
take
it's,
one.
it's a pretty solid one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, talk to you later. QQ Enagon and World Legacy Monstrosity. If you don't know what and Leviton, if you don't know what these are, there was somebody who I think they won or made like second place in a Genesis side event, playing Generator as VFD Turbo. Because VFD was 100 points and like I think none of the other Generator cards were point costed. So you could just play it as the rank 9 make VFD Turbo. So now you can't do that.
Yeah.
Which I think
Sometimes you just gotta-
is fair. Just giving them 1 point. If you want to play Generator to play Generator, it's still doable.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
it's the constant problem of level 9 spam.
Yeah.
Like decks that do that will just naturally get drawn towards VFD. Like VFD is the goblin mask for just level 9.
Yeah, it is
like
just if
Virtual
you can
World,
make a
Generator.
rank 9, and if you can make VFD, hey, guess what? The reason why VFD's on the ban list is because if you just make VFD turn 1, you probably win.
Yeah.
Your opponent can't do anything. Treasures of the Kings from 0 to 5 points. This is because the Odeon deck, aka Man, was good. It was like Rogue already in Advanced, so it's pretty good in Genesis. So making all the back row hate cheaper and making Treasure of Kings cost like 5 points means that it's a little more expensive to play. Similarly, they put Nerva to 5. That's because Archmage is actually pretty good. Warrior to 7. I don't know why Archfiend Abyss is going from 0 to 20, but I assume that also that makes it playable with Crimson Dragon still, but nothing else.
Yeah.
A bunch of K9s got their point increased. They put Totem Bird and Cicada King up points. This is one of those things that's like, people read it as a problem, but me personally, I'm just like, no, that's clearly intentional. These are technically hits to Radiant Typhoon because they are wind and have a strong rank 3 accessibility to them. There are no actual Radiant Typhoon cards on this list, and some people are not happy about that because it's a strong deck. Personally, good. Great. Radiant Typhoon is not going to be meta in Advanced, and it is a brand new deck that is very interesting. So yes, it's going to be good in Genesis. Chat, spoilers, if you haven't figured it out. I think in addition to basically trying to invent a semi-retro format that means that they can basically trick retro players into buying new cards. They can trick Yugi boomers into buying modern cardboard without scaring them off with pendulums or links. I think that Genesis also exists because people complain about low power archetypes in core sets that don't make meta, and they're just like, okay, we've invented a format for that. That's why they're not killing Man with the Mark, right? They're not sending him out to pasture. They're not killing Exorcister straight up yet. They're increasing their points slightly to make the decks a little more balanced, but no, they literally want you to play Radiant. They want you to buy Radiant Typhoon, chat. It's brand new. And there's some other interesting ones. I don't really know why FoxyTune is 5, other than I guess it was just it was another one of those generic extenders. Like Habakiri, you would just play FoxyTune to just get an extra guy.
Yeah, I would assume that's what that is.
Trishula from 3 to 13. I think that's to make it so that it's less likely that you can loop Trishula multiple times.
It's definitely intended. This is like a nice like ice barriers don't. I'm pretty sure they don't have any other hits at all on their points, too. So it's just to like.
So if you want to triple loop Trishula, you have to make some concessions in the side deck, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is fair. That's fair. Because, like, I think genuinely, like, on the one hand, we all saw Trishula at 3 points, and we're just like, ooh, Ice Barrier, spicy. But then it was like, maybe a little too spicy. Because, yes, literally, Ice Barrier could, like... You could play, what, like, 3 Trish, 3 Pot of Greed, I think? Because Pot of Greed's, like, 30? Yeah, no, that would be 99. You could play a 1-point card, too, like, before this point adjustment. So, like, and still, you can play 1 Trishula... And while you can't play 3 Pot of Greed anymore, you could play 2 Pot of Greed and have some cards to play with. You could play no Pots of Greed and play fucking, real hand traps and board breakers. Like, it's a very interesting space to be in. This is why I think Genesis is super neat, is because it's like I said, I think I built an Ashen deck after we talked about it for Genesis. And, like, Ashen is not a super good deck, but in Genesis... You could just play, fucking 3 Pot of Greed, nothing else, or just play real board breakers and just be like, yeah, fuck it. I'll make a big guy. Honestly, I think I'd have to rebuild that deck, because I'm pretty sure I played some super polys in there.
You're Ashened?
Yeah, in Ashened. Just because it's...
Yeah,
you can't super poly with the trap, but also you can super poly the other way.
Ashen's still fun. It is the interesting thing about decks where even the bad decks are like still accomplishing something now in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like the bad decks in Yu-Gi-Oh used to accomplish like, oh, I've summoned 1 monster and I got my head squashed. Whereas Ashen, I'm like, oh, like I've built a board. This board doesn't do anything, but it is a board that I've actually built that can do things.
Yeah. Next, targeted hate against branded.
Yep.
Good.
I mean, that's the opinion. It's either you are a branded one-trick and you're just like, no, my apes! Or everyone else is like, good, stop playing branded.
Oh no,
yeah,
the branded web services went down.
So they pre-called this shot because the new structure deck came out that's all foil and has like 1 of every single card in it. So like branded is now super giga accessible. So the Fallen and the Virtuous, I don't remember exactly what this does, but it's like a really good generic searcher. So they points it. Albion's points, Titanic Lad Sprint, Grignol, and Brigand are all points. Dragon that Devours the Dogma's points. They reduced Lubellion Mirror Jade to be 10 points, just to, I think, balance it out a little. Just all the extra decks are 10 points. Branded Fusion went from 33 to 40, so you effectively semi-limiting it. Mercuria went to 5. Masquerade went from 0 to 16. Masquerade obviously is, I think, more point costly because he is the tax dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, the again, like those the tax kinds of effects are also just in this like weird niche where, like, again, they're not. Oh yeah, look at God, all the
Gladiator Beast screen.
Yeah, all the Gladiator Beast screen. Tinky going down's incredible. Oh yeah, like all the Glad Beasts and just ninjas. Like we kind of.
Yeah, this I think this last segment is their oops, we overcosted these segment, basically. Like,
yeah.
This is clearly the sign of testing. Like, Rhoda went down a little bit, E-Telly went down a little bit, Tenki went down a little bit, Fossil Deck went down a little bit, Nightmare Apprentice got her costs slashed, Ashina got slashed from, like, 33. We realized that Hidden City is fucking nothing without links, Union Hanger went down kind of a thing. They increased Tamer Editor, which I think is fair because that's actually that's the one that lets you cheat out Glad Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
Ninjas went down, and Spencer went down.
Hitting the dumping costs on a lot of cards and stacking up on like the proper sort of modern state, like modern fix-ish, you could say, of the deck.
Yeah. They did an interesting thing with Yubel. They made Phantom of Yubel 75 points, but they made Nightmare Throne specifically 25 points. So basically, if you want to play a Yubel deck, you have to pick. You can either play one Phantom of Yubel, or you can play up to 3 Nightmare Thrones. But that's it. You cannot play them both at the same time.
I think that is an interesting stance. Like I do dig it.
Yeah. Similarly,
choose
they
one or the
did
other.
the Grave Swarmer from like 1 point to 0 points because
Yeah.
they're mixing it up. And MBT said this on his reaction video. He was like, what the fuck was Vanishing Lanius doing? I think it is just a generic 4 extender. Like that's just a free guy you could summon. So I think they point costed a lot of those guys. But yeah, I don't think anybody was playing Vanishing Lanius, chat.
I mean, Vanishing Lanius is sure it's a free summon. It's not a good free summon. though.
No.
No.
And I think that's why they were already at 5 points, and then they were just like, no, this isn't any good. But yeah, that was your Genesis and your TCG man list, and a little bit of other chatting. Our conversation was slightly preloaded, so we got a little bit of a slow start. But let's talk about Hieratics. And it's okay that we took an hour to talk about Genesis because, like I said before, there are shockingly few Hieratic cards. I thought they would have more modern support after their initial, it might even be one wave. They might have posted all of this in Galactic Overlord. But outside of that, they have had 2 pieces of legacy support.
Huh?
One of them is Seals. The other is the retrain of the big rank 8 dragon. That's it. I was shocked.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's a little wild. And that's why I said,
They don't. There's not many.
no. So, Hieratics, which in Japanese are known as hieroglyphic, seikoku, are light dragons.
17 cards were all in Galactic Overlord? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. Honestly, I'm a little... I think that's why I bumbled this deck so hard in our Prog series. I really wanted to make this work, but they were at every single rarity lever in Galactic Overlord, so it was, make it or break it. And a lot of them have very shitty reprints. But basically, they're a bunch of light dragons, usually 4, 6, 8 in their levels. But they are designed to tribute themselves or tribute each other to summon monsters, which then proc their effects, and usually can summon normal monsters. They have an in archetype, or technically 2, because they have a Gemini. But also, we'll probably bring it up after we talk about the rest of the main deck. Watt Tail Dragon was a very common add as well, because it is a normal level 6 dragon. If you are curious, all of these are named after some form of the Egyptian Ennead, or Great Ennead, which is the 9 deities at Heliopolis. Atum, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, Nut, and then Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys.
Yeah,
Sometimes they add Horus.
It is the our 9 glory gods.
Yeah. Though there are a few variations of that. Note that is not exactly the 9 gods that were picked for those extra guys in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, it's not
That was
exactly
a different group of guys.
Yeah, no. Mythology is fucking weird, chat. Like I love mythology. I love it so much. It's I'm sure Omega can also attest to this. Like, going on deep dives of mythology is fucking fun and just finding shit. But you will also just find oh yeah, just here's this random piece of information that just goes, these 2 things are the same, but also never the same, and also just stories just do not exist all in the same space of mythology.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I guess everybody drink. It's not on Let's Talk FGO, but this is one of our old drink rules. I'm going to mention Overly Sarcastic Productions, but this is something Red of OSP brings up a lot, is that, we usually look at mythology as, a closed book, right? It's all written, it's all, done out, and it can't change. And that is true now, usually, with effectively dead religions that then became cultural myths. But when they were around, they were a living body of text, which is very different from fiction writing, which is kind of like, that usually is one and done. So you run into this issue where, like, yeah, lots of myths are contradictory or overlapping. As much as, like, I talk about this, as much as I agree with the political stance Ovid was taking about Augustus Caesar and, like, the nobles of Rome, Ovid did irreparable damage to the pop culture appreciation of Greek and Roman myths by turning every single one of them into some kind of allegory for the oligarchy. Like, so many people are like, Athena cursed Medusa. It's like, no, actually, that's just what Ovid said because he had a very particular bone to pick. The earliest version of the Gorgon myths is just, yeah, there's Gorgons. Why are there Gorgons? Fuck you, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, like
They've always been
even in fictional writing, you see that. Like a good example is, I guess my turn. Like we're taking drinks all over. Like just the King Arthur mythos in general. Like there are 17 different variations of every single Knight of the Round Table because everyone had their own idea. And then a French guy said, hey, what if there was this really hot guy in the Knights of the Round Table?
Sir Lancelot, the OC.
Everyone.
Yeah, no, the Arthurian cycle's so fun. I think there are two episodes of Wanted which are really fucking long, chat. It's either a Greek mythology episode, because like I said, then I have to like fucking be like, okay, so here's what Homer had to say, and then here's what the poet Pindar had to say, fair-cheeked Medusa, blah, blah, blah. And then here's what Ovid said, and you've probably heard it because he was super popular in Roman, but he was writing like 600 years after these fuckers, so he's not necessarily correct. And then Arthurian, which, like you said, that's like, okay, so Geoffrey of Monmouth says this, and then the Welsh Mabinogion says this, and then the French decided... Or, if you're talking about, like Percival and the Grail cycle, then you're like, and then this German guy, and then it's just like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Some of this just doesn't add up.
My favorite one is where Bedivere's a witch.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a sorcerer sometimes.
He's like a witcher sorcerer, and Arthur is basically bailing him out constantly because they're trying to burn him at the stake because he is a witch.
And King Arthur's just like, stop it. None of that. Some of my best friends are witches.
Basically,
looks at Merlin.
He's like, hang on, like guys. He's a cool witch. Come on, chill out. He's a cool witch. He's helping us.
Also, I wonder how those myths well, I mean, actually, this is another funny one. To get a little in the tangent, oh my God, I can't believe. I guess spoilers if you're not all caught up with Lost Belts, but Lost Belt 6 has been out for like 2 years. But like the fact that Nasu and company's solution for the fact that King Arthur has literally had like 3 or 4 different sister characters, all of whom are often named something similar over and over again, was to just be like, yeah, Morgan just basically has magical dissociative personality disorder. She's just 3 people. Fuck it, we ball.
Hell yeah.
3 people in a trench coat.
Like, and I'm just like, I mean... That certainly is a simple solution, Mr. Nasu.
I mean...
It works, I guess.
Yeah, like, sometimes the easiest decision is to just say, fuck it. What? Sure, I guess, man.
But yeah, so each of these dragons is based off of the Ennead, the group of Egyptian gods. They come in either the hieratic seal or the hieratic dragon. Now, you might think the seals are the spell cards, but no, there are some seals that are monsters. Obviously, saying seals or spheres pass is, yeah, that is a seal of the heavenly spheres. But there are also several others. They each have an Eye of Horus on their armor, again, despite the fact that Horus is usually not counted among them. Though, again, hey, I did double-check on Wikipedia to make sure I was looking at the right Ennead, and Horus is sometimes added to that. Konami, you could help us out here. Give us a rank 4.
It would work. It look like as they can make up any excuse they want. Like just because they've decided this is the theming doesn't mean they have to follow it.
Yeah, this is Fail Portrayal's, like, I think, #1 through line about Yu-Gi-Oh! Card design is when Konami decides that they're doing like a set numbered theme, and they're just like, yes, so there are only 12 zodiac signs, maybe 13 if we're feeling spicy. There are only 12 calendar months. There's only so many so many lunar months in a year, kind of a thing. And it's like, okay, cool, Konami. You're gonna print all of those, and then what do you do when you're out of them? And usually the answer is, well, we have to stop because we have to think too hard, and that can make decks bad.
Yep.
So we're just gonna, like I said, all these fuckers came out all at once, basically, in Galactic Overlord. So we're just gonna run the original block in alphabetical order, starting in the main deck. And that means that we will be pulling up first Hieratic Dragon of Asar. There he is. And I believe the OCG pronunciation was something like Hieroglyphic Dragon Usir, yes, which is another way to write Osiris. I do also want to say, I don't know if it's because of either the,
Can we rename him Cypher?
Well, yeah, good solid joke. But I don't know if it's because of the lingering satanic panic or just the general vibes of America against the Middle East during the early 2000s into the 2010s even. But
yeah,
I don't know why Konami avoided using most of the direct Egyptian names, but not all of them. Like, some of them are straight up, like...
Tefnuit.
Yeah, Tefnuit is basically the same. Atum is Atum.
Yeah.
I will say that, so Egyptian hieroglyphs are, when they're written, are ambiguous about the vowels. So, technically, pronunciations like writing shu as su, even though in the OCG it was just, I think, shu or shuit or something.
I believe Satek is just the Japanese Satek, right? It still kind of is right. It's just not the name we think of per se.
Yeah. And I honestly saying Sutek could be, because I don't actually know, Set might be a Anglicization or Greekicization. Yeah, no, the original Egypt is Sutek.
Okay.
Or Seth. Or Seth.
Sutek is correct.
Yes.
So yeah, there are a handful of here that either they just sort of went with it, or they just chose to stick with the Japanese variation, which might be the closer.
Yeah.
Some of them might be.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've brought him up. Let me tab back over. We're still in the window capture for Genesis.
Oh, whoops.
That is this one. There you go. There he is. Thank you for reminding me, Chad. I'll also move you guys back over since we're not blocking. It's okay. There was nothing there for a little bit until we pulled him up.
This guy looks sick.
Yeah, Asar looks pretty cool.
Sick. No.
No.
Physically sick.
Well, if he's Osiris, I think he's green because Osiris is usually depicted as having green skin because he has been brought back from the dead.
Yes, the Osiris myth.
Yeah. So he's green. He's a green dragon. He has a green eye. He's very pointy. Not sure about that one. He's also really noodly. Jeez. I didn't even realize how far back he goes, but he's looped over himself.
Oh yeah. I think he's fine. The green is a little toxic, I will say.
Yeah, it's a very bright green. I think that was just their idea. The cards don't show it a lot very well because I think most of them were foils. But quite a lot of these dragons, if I remember rightly from looking up their art earlier when I grabbed all their names, are kind of very bright colors. I do want to say, do like the background designs are a little obscured because there's a lot of not speed lines, but light lines. But, there is the shot of a moon and some sands back there that look pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, that is a fun, like a impact, in the background.
Yeah. So, Hieratic Dragon of Asar, Seikukuryu, literally hieroglyphic dragon. is a light dragon, level 7, 2600 attack, 700 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing a light dragon-type monster and a dragon-type normal monster from your graveyard. Gotta banish a light and a normal. If this face-up card would be destroyed, you contribute a face-up hieratic set and except this card. Asar is bad. Like, I get what they were going for, but he's a 7, so he's not even good for their Xyz play. And he's a...
Oh, yeah.
He's a chaos-costed guy for the effect that he can protect himself by tributing your other guys.
Yeah, he's just way too cost-heavy.
Yeah. For a piece that's not even really in the engine. I mean, he has a decent attack point, so, like, maybe he can be good as, like, a 1-of to push for game. You do, spoilers, have a 3-of Searcher in this deck. This is one of one of those decks that was, I think one of the earlier examples of, like, because even stuff like Solar Recharge, no, Solar Recharge is draw 2. Charge of Light Brigade is add 1, right? Yeah, but then you pitch off the top of deck. Like, there were several archetypes that let you just search anything. Obviously, E-Call is pretty old, but also has this effect. But they do have an E-Call in archetype among several other searchers and summoners. So, like, playing as a 1-of is like a tech card back in the day, probably not crazy. These days, he's just too antithetical to the deck because he is specifically a 7. And they don't have any in-archetype rank 7s, and while there are some good rank 7s, playing rank 7s for a long time was not good. Actually, I think I'll pull up these two arts side by side because the wiki has a good point about both Esset, that's this one is Esset, and also Nebthet. Because if you don't know, chat, Esset or Asset in the OCG is Isis, and Nebthet is Nephthys. So they are, in fact, both in the Ennead, they are sisters, and then as hieratic dragons, they're twinsies.
They look like... I know it's not the same, but my brain just wants to go, if these were pendulum cards, these would be your scales.
I mean, probably. Sorry, slightly down there. But yeah. You've got one that's daytime, one that's nighttime. Otherwise, they have the exact same kind of, like, purplish color. Their two heads are slightly different because I believe they are showing, like, slightly different of the, you know, thrones that Nephthys and Isis are depicted as sitting on. But otherwise, they're pretty close in look. Actually, I'll leave my spirit's muted for a second as well. So I'll pop away because I got to refill my bottle of water real quick. So I'll be right back, chat.
Oh no.
Stare at the twinsies.
Is it gonna definitely mute it? It's gonna be leaving you with me? He's muted but not definite. Oh no, you guys are stuck with me. Oh geez, sorry. I just unmuted the stream just to hear myself and I don't know why I sound like this. I'm sorry. But no. Now, I like the look of these little weirdos. Only enough thinking of Alexandrite Dragon, think of how these guys look like just gemstone dragons.
Mic back on, just back up. All right, I'm back.
Yeah, no, you're right there. They do look like RPG minions.
Actually, let me check
Also,
chat.
welcome back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're kind of, you know, left half, right half kind of a thing. So a lot of these dragons are pretty important. Esset is a level 5 with 1900 attack and 1200 defense. But Esset says you can normal summon her without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1,000. Once per turn, you can target a face-up normal dragon. All hieratics become that monster's level until the end phase, and then when this card is tributed, special summon a dragon normal from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It would make its attack and defense 0. Esset, unlike Asar, very important card. This is obviously one of your starters because it is a card you can normal summon. The deck is bad at that. And it technically has a level fixing effect. If you get out on normal, so if it's tributed somewhere, you can actually, work with it to get out there. And then Nebthet is basically the same way, but she's got 2k attack, 1600 defense, but you can special summon Nebthet by tributing, special summon from your hand by tributing a hieratic. Once per turn, you can tribute a hieratic, except this card from your hand or side of the field to target a monster opponent controls, destroy it. When this card is tributed, you get a dragon type normal from your deck. So, both of these are pretty good starters, because obviously you can summon Esset, tribute with Nebthet, that procs Esset's effect when tributed to summon an extra guy, and then you could tribute that monster, that normal, to pop a monster. How should I say this? It's one of those cards that, like, back in the day, it was pretty good to have that kind of back and forth. You know, in the early Xyz format of Galactic Overlord, you might have these sorts of backs and forth. Like, you might actually linger long enough for it to matter. But there are also going to be times where, you know, you're going first and you're like, well, my opponent doesn't have any cards yet, so, you know, Nebthet, you know, dead ends. So it can be good, but is also, like, a little limiting.
Yeah, there's not much you can really do.
And like I said, Esset is, like, one of those cards that is essential for the deck because you need normals. This deck has, like, 2 level 4s. Excuse me, sorry, I yawned. One of them is bad. And then even one of them is, like, very limited, because that one is our next guy, actually, coming before Nebthet. And I'm sure chat will have some things to say about this one. It's Gabeb. Which, like, the OCG name is, like, Gave, or Gave with a V. That one I think has just got to be the, like, BV flip.
Royal Guard!
Yeah?
He's hitting a pose. There's a lot of rock and stone in this because Geb is a god associated with the earth.
I dig it.
But, yeah. Gebeb here is, like, I mean, he's a level 4, so obviously he's a little smaller, a little less complex. I think that makes sense compared to the others, but I feel like that means that he's a little less extreme. But it means he's a little goofy.
Yeah, he's definitely smoother than some of the other, like, smaller guys we see.
Yeah. But Geb is a light level 4, 1800 attack, and 400 defense.
It's not bad stats.
No, yeah, especially, like, this is early Xyz era when we realized that, like, levels are more important than the stats, so that means there are some 4s that are just kind of, like, eh. So, Gabeb works pretty good because he is supposed to function off when this card destroys opponent's monster by battle and sends it to graveyard. Special summon a dragon-type normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard and make its attack and defense 0. When this card is tributed, special summon a hieratic normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So, like, obviously, Gabeb's not the greatest starter in the world because, like, he's no good going first. But on the crackback, he does let you build out your board presence. And like I mentioned previously, like when talking about Esset and Nebthet, because those guys are twins. You know, that's Isis and Nephthys. Nebthet lets you tribute a guy in hand to pop one of your opponent's cards. You will probably have a little bit of back and forth during this time period. You know, the odds that your opponent's just going to make a like rank 4 OTK and blow you out very low.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they might, depending on the ban list, they might shockmaster you out of the game, but, you know, you should be able to do something. So
They're not
Gabeb
going
being
to
your
be able
attacker.
to immediately crack back you, and you're dead.
So Gabeb, like, actually works out as, like, you know, we set some plays, we set some other plays, you know, you tribute him. It is funny that, like, you can special summon any dragon-type normal from hand, deck, or graveyard by battling your opponent, but when it's tributed, it's only hieratic normals. So, you know, there are a few options out there. But the Gebster is a decent card. I know I was hunting some of these guys pretty hard in Prague because he was a super and is definitely, like, again, one of your starter cards because you've got Esset, which you can normal summon without tributing, and then Gabeb is your normal summon, and then I think is our next one the other 4? Is it Nut? Is the 4, or is it the other one? Yes, it is Nut. Okay. I'm gonna bring this one up, and it's gonna be like, hey, remember I said we wouldn't be doing a JoJo referencing JoJo as much?
Yeah, no, this guy is.
That was a bold-faced lie.
This guy is just doing it.
Also, this one they
full
changed because in Japanese this is just Seikokuryu Dragon Nuto, hieroglyphic dragon nut. So they had to put an extra I in there.
Yeah.
Nuit.
We cannot be trusted, chat.
I mean, it is still pronounced Nut with like a long U, but that is the goddess's name is Nut. But yeah, they were just like, no, we cannot make them dragon nut or hieratic dragon of nut. No. I've seen what messages you people post on FromSoft games. But
Fort nut.
yeah, no, I think we technically would say she because it is supposed to be based off an Egyptian goddess.
Yeah.
Nuit is just doing a JoJo pose though. As Chat said, aura farming.
Actually, sorry, just brief reminder. I was reminded because you guys mentioned JoJo. One of my sisters is doing I want to say cosplay, a vibe cosplay of fucking JoJo. She sent me some makeup that she's done for herself to give herself JoJo's look.
I've seen a lot of like. I've seen a lot of like
the secret tabletop cabal because it's actually pretty impressive makeup. But it's also because it's my sister, so I don't want it to be, you know, showed.
I've seen a lot of makeup work that like essentially try to put the detail lines of a JoJo character like on their face.
Yes, that's essentially it.
But, well, lots to give it up. Nuit is the other level 4, Light Dragon 4, 1700 attack, 900 defense. Once per turn during either player's turn, when this face-up card is targeted by a spell, trap, or card effect, special summon a dragon, normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and make its attack 0 and 0. So I was correct. Well, that's also be your being. Nuit is bad. That's cute. And it can be targeted by any spell card, so, like, you can kind of do the Maiden with Eyes of Blue type shit.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's neat. Why are you devoting extra card interaction space just to do this when you could be doing something else?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're gonna bait your opponent into targeting this? No, you're not. It's a 1700 attack level 4.
They will summon their Gabeb and kill it, and then get advantage off it in the mirror.
Literally just play Luster Dragon instead. Play a normal dragon with 1900 attack you can summon. Like, yeah, not a great pickup. And like I said, while there are obviously level fixing effects, that was one of the other thing that Esset did is lets you target a normal monster and make all your hieratics that level. There is no rank 4 in the deck, and I don't know when Queen Dragon Jin came out. So like, there was not a lot of incentive to play the 4s necessarily in this deck. I still think you play
Galactic Overlord.
Okay, so same set.
In
so
the same set.
You that would be a decent generic 4 to play for dragons, but definitely like a little out there. So next then is Hieratic Dragon of Su, which was Shiyu in the OCG and is Shu originally. So yeah, this one's a sky at 80, so it's kind of a sky dragon. We got a light blue.
Yeah, this one, I'm not sure I'm a fan of the pecs on this dragon.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Su looks a lot like a pretty normal early gen Yu-Gi-Oh dragon, but we busted out the color gradient tool to make them all sky blue.
Yeah. We busted out the gradient. We drew like just weirdly low detailed pecs. I think it's the color gradient not allowing us to see the proper
Yeah, I think the idea is supposed to be
here.
That the detail is washed out because the light is so bright. There's supposed to be such a high level of contrast between light and dark, but it does mean that the details are either washed out or shadowed out. And it's weird because the gold, which should be very, very reflective, is I guess the word I want to say is still pretty perceptible. You can still make out a lot of details on the gold armor. It's just the dragon is weird.
We blew out we blew out the wrong details.
Yeah.
I think.
And unlike some of the others where you could say, oh, well, they designed it with a printing with the holofoil in mind. And I mean, maybe they do. The OCG has always liked to do multiple different rarities. But at least in TCG, Su is just a common. So,
yeah,
just not even get to account for the foiling changing this. This is just how Su looks. Su is a Light Dragon 6, 2200 attack, 1000 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing a hieratic monster, just like Nebthet. Once per turn, tribute a hieratic, except this card from your hand or your side of the field. Target one spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. When this card is tributed, summon a dragon-type normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Make its attack and defense 0. So Su is another one that's pretty easy to get out. You just need to put a hieratic on the board. This is, again, why Gabeb and Esset are, vital for this deck to work. You need normal summons because you need to be able to put a hieratic on the board to tribute it for a different one.
Yeah, it's kind of it's an unfortunate part of the loop in this deck that really does just make it very fucky.
Yeah. So, obviously they have a pretty good system for Su pops spell traps, Nebthet pops monsters, so you have the ability to sack guys from your hand to then activate their effects in graveyard to bring out more materials. Su is, I think, a little more popular than Nebthet in that regard because Nebthet is a 5 and Su is a 6, so that lets you set up one of your 2 Ixie monsters, pick a normal 6. But it's definitely one of those things where, you're really hurting for interactions, there. So, next, let's talk about the big suck. It is Hieratic Dragon of Sutek. Which, again, is the more classically Egyptian pronunciation of Set or Seth's name. That is, more Greekified.
This is our BLS. This is our Sed.
Yeah, this is our
Dear
big
Lord,
boy.
His neck is thick.
He's pretty meaty. He's also very piss colored.
He's very
Like,
piss colored, and
I get that
once
they kind
again-
of had to do a different shade from the gold of the armor to differentiate it, but it is just a piss yellow.
This guy's
Also-
entire being reminds me of the one joke I heard from an Australian sitcom. What that was just apple juice looks like urine. No one says it, but we all think it.
The unfortunate part too is the color scheme does make him look more liquid and translucent than all the other shades. So all of the like sheen on him kind of just looks like internal bubbling of the piss.
Boiled piss. Anyway, I posted it in there we go.
Yeah, I see.
It's a very unfortunate color pattern and shade that
Yeah. And like obviously,
yeah.
at least in the modernly accepted continuity of Egyptian mythology, yeah, Set or Seth is kind of like the big joke. He is the traitor brother who gets dunked on kind of a thing. But yeah, it's very weird. At the very least, Sutek is a little more playable than Aesir. Because he's a level 8 light dragon, 2000 attack, 2000 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned by banishing 3 dragon type normals. Once per turn, you can banish a dragon type from your graveyard, target a card on the field, destroy that target. So yeah, he is BLS or even like I want to say like Dark Armed Dragon coded. Banish a dragon from your graveyard, pop a guy, soft once.
I would say the problem. Good God, you need
3 dragon normals in grave. Yeah.
Banish 3 normals in grave. So you need to get all 3 of your balls in grave.
Yep, all your balls.
Then you start banishing other dragons to do his effect, which
Presumably the effect type hieratics who were tributed so that you could summon those balls from deck. Yeah, it's not great. Like I said, you probably would play him as a one-off. Honestly, this is a deck that, like, they have 1 Gemini monster. They could have used some more Gemini monsters, like, with modern Gemini support to do shit like Supervise, Catalyst Field, you could probably do something funny with that, but, again, they did, like, 1 Gemini monster as a joke to give the deck more normals, and didn't really bother with it. I recommended it. I would probably, depending on the exact year, play it with, like, genuinely, the way this deck is, I could see playing this with, like, 3 Unexpected Die and 3, like, Luster Dragon or Alexandrite Dragon, the 2K normal dragon.
God, Doug would love this deck.
Doug does love this deck. Doug has tried to make this shit work in Saga, like, 4 times, and he never gets enough Sues, even though it's, like, a rare in Master Duel.
I would just pull better. I don't know, man. Like skill issue.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of how it was with Prague. Unfortunately, my Prague run with Hieratics was doomed because the 6 and the 8 are both semi-generic. So people were like, I could trade them, but also I would like rank 8s. Or rank 6s, that do stuff.
Yeah. You rank 8s for what are you gonna do with that? Hope Humdinger?
Not for long in our format. If you made Hope Harbinger, I think we were like, we're sending that guy to jail. That guy's still like really regular Titanic Galaxy Hope Harbinger dragon is like a guy in modern rank 8 end boards. Like he's still a pretty good guy to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just sucks to fight.
And then they made him again. They made T.
We're gonna try that one more time.
But
what's the worst that could happen?
That's fine.
We got Tefnuit, which is like Tefnut, and like I said before, the actual writing system of hieroglyphics is often very ambiguous about the vowels. So we've had to kind of guess and reconstruct. So Tefnut being Tefnuit could just be them trying to keep us from saying Tefnut. Or also, again, the vowels are ambiguous. This dragon has kind of a cat face, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right. That's definitely like a cat face.
I mean, so Tefnut, the goddess, is a lion-headed lady. She is, supposed to be related to the cluster of, like, Sekhmet, Bastet, etc. So she's got, like, a lioness or a leopard head. But, like, all the rest of the you didn't bother doing the animal heads for any of the other dragons. Why did you make this dragon a cat?
I think they were just trying something. That or they thought we would not notice. We would focus too hard on the white and make shitty jokes and not notice that we gave it a fucking cat face.
Yes, she is a white dragon,
it's
also, by the way,
like,
I want to say is super funny. Guess what? This card was reprinted in the Blue Eye structure deck.
I'm realizing it's not a cat face. We've put a cat face helmet on the top of the dragon's face. It still has the dragon mouth.
Oh, it is, yeah. So Tefnuit has like red eyes and has like a normal dragon head, but it's her helmet that's even weirder.
Yeah, the dragon is wearing a helmet that makes its top of its face look like a cat.
Why did you do that to her? That's so weird. Also, absolute, like, I mean, there's 9 of them, so they probably had to cut some corners, but, like, you picked one of the colors to be white. Cool, great. Good job, team.
Cum dragon.
We got the piss dragon and the cum dragon.
I mean, someone had to make the joke.
There's many other jokes. Like I said, guess what? This was reprinted in the white the Saga of the Blue Eyes White Dragon structure deck.
I mean, of course it was. What where else would it be in?
And that, at least, I think also makes sense, though, because Tefnuit's another one of the really good ones, because she is a cyber dragon.
Yep.
So she is a light dragon, level 6, 2100 attack, 1400 defense. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Can't attack the turn with special summon this way. When this card is tributed, special summon a dragon normal from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and make its attack and defense 0. So having run through these, I'm realizing I think the main problem with this deck is Konami dumped all their support out in one set in Galactic Overlord and couldn't decide when they were making it if it's supposed to be a go second or a go first deck, because, like I said, this deck has some really good archetypally iconic spell and trap cards. Usually, if you have good spell and trap cards, you want to go first. They have an archetype, counter trap. They have searchers. They have summoners, etc. You want to set all that up. That's cool.
Yeah.
But also, they have a Sidra, they have a spell trap pop, they have a monster pop. It's like they feel kind of weird for you to be playing when your opponent doesn't have a board. But also, I feel like they have a lot of really good tools you want to set up going first. It's a weird one.
It's this weird, double nothing happen. I don't know how to phrase it. I think it's just this
nothing burger.
Yeah.
You don't have enough sauce going first to make a board your opponent can't out. Especially because I don't know if it's just because of the way that the Zexal anime was or what, but the Xyz area is full of comeback cards. There are so many Xyz monsters which are designed specifically for, hey, does your opponent have a big ass guy on the board right now? Kick their ass. There are so many classic Xyz era, early 2010s cards that are all about just flipping the script. Whether that's Utopia and Double or Nothing, Silent Honor Arc, all the shit with Galaxy Eyes Dragons, Exciton Knight, flip a script type shit. There's quite a lot of opportunities for you to reverse if you go in the extra deck. So the Hieratics are not strong enough for that. But if they're going second, their rank 6 and rank 8 aren't quite the board clearer that you'd like them to be, though they do have some very good options.
Sadly.
It is that thing of it's a weird case where honestly, Konami could have benefited from spacing this out into 2 waves and actually seeing what the deck's limitations were. So let's talk about one of the 2 balls. This is their Gemini monster.
So something to make note of the Hieratics that I stepped away from a moment, so I don't know if it was already touched on. The seals are meant to be what the Hieratics actually are, and they burst out of the seals, right?
Yes.
Like sphere mode.
Yeah. They're all raw sphere mode.
Yeah, they are they are supposed to be, bottled up, and then they burst forth when you release the seal. So they're sealed up in a ball, and this one unfolds. Let me actually check the trivia page if there is one this is supposed to be. Okay, so this is probably sealed Atum, the Xyz monster.
Ooh.
So he bursts forth because this is the hieratic seal of the Dragon King, Ryu-o no Seikokui. It's not very impressive though because this is a Dragon Gemini monster, a light level 6, which is already 0/0. Again, they made it so that when you summon the normals from deck, they are already 0/0'd. I don't know why they bothered with that because all their effects 0/0 them anyway. While this card's face up on the field or in the graveyard, it's treated as a normal monster. So this is a way that you can get more normals in your graveyard. While it's on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with the following effect. Tribute this card, special summon a hieratic, except Dragon King from your hand, deck, or graveyard in face-up defense position. If this wasn't on a Gemini monster, that would be cool.
Yup. That's the tail of the tape with
Yep.
Just the tail of the tape, sadly.
That's how
This
it always
is,
is.
Rad card. Awesome shit. There are
I mean,
some really cool
literally,
Gemini
hey, guess
monsters.
what? The Link monster at Seals of the Heavenly Spheres is just this, but good. Like, they just figured out a way to make this card, do a thing where it summons a guy from deck, but better, and also does something. It's just so crazy that they... You don't need to play this. Like I said, literally, instead of playing this, play level 4 dragons that do something, or because you can't fill up your extra deck anyway, play fucking 3 Flamville Guard, who's a normal dragon level 1 tuner, and make synchros.
Yeah, just
make level 7 synchros, So yeah, this card is again, it's an attempt. I understand what they're trying. It's a Gemini, so it's not a good attempt.
Yeah.
Arguably, the classic one is...
Let me play Catalyst Field in my hieratic deck.
I mean, it's a free summon, then a free normal of that guy to tribute and summon any hieratic in defense position, I guess, but it's not worth it. And here's the one everybody knows, the big ball. Hieratic Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlord. Shinryu no Seikokuin, Hieroglyphic Seal of the God Dragon. This is a normal monster, level 8 light. It is a big fucking ball. It's still 0/0. And it has flavor text. A mysterious engraved hieratic relic. It was thought to be a simple stone, but it was actually infused with the power of a sun-wielding dragon. Aeons passed and the power of the relic grew until finally it shone like the sun itself. By the way, I want to say, they thought it to be a simple stone. If this actually bursts into Heliopolis, the rank 8, there's gotta be a big fucking ball.
Yeah, I mean it's disgusting. It's disgustingly huge.
It's a big chungus. It's a rank 8 or a level 8 guy that becomes a rank 8. But yeah, no.
Wait, it's just a pebble.
It's a big ass sphere. I like the idea of the Bakugan style unpack into the monster.
Oh god, that's what. Yeah, no, that's what it is.
But
no.
This guy is such a weird tax that if you were actually playing hieratics, yeah, you needed some. You needed some of this. Just because it is a normal that is a hieratic that is an 8 that's a free summon. I appreciate, again, the effort, but these days it is just a weird normal monster tax. I mean, I guess, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. That means that you can, you can play weird cards like Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi and stuff like that.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's...
But again, this is a deck that cries out for extra support, especially because this was one of the featured ones in Selection 10. If you guys don't recall, Konami said, "Here are 10 cool archetypes that we'll give you support for," and they were just like, We gave you a new rank 8. This doesn't help the deck.
Give you a new rank 8. Feel great about it, or something. I don't know.
So here is one of the ones, though, that is pretty ballin'. This is their first Xyz monster, the rank 6 Hieratic Dragon King of Atum. So he's kind of like purpley black and gold, which is a really good color scheme.
Yeah,
and
he looks rad.
Speaking of JoJo poses, once again, oh, you're approaching me.
I mean, yeah, this like dark purple crystal color is really like I see the vision on like what they've been trying to do, and like this is them accomplishing. Looks really sick.
Yeah. And this guy is semi-generic. He is any 2 level 6 dragons, so obviously that makes him, really good in this deck, but also makes him very applicable because there are a bajillion dragons and everything. Also is a rank 6, which is 2400 attack, 2100 defense, which is arguably a little low, but still beats over a decent number of guys. And then, once per turn, detach one material from this card, special summon a dragon from your deck, but make its attack and defense 0. This card can't attack the turn you activate this effect. So, Chad, I'm checking the release date of a little card called Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon.
Yeah.
And that is going to be 2010! But was easily available in 2012 in the Dragons Collide structure deck. So, yeah, Red MD already existed at this point.
Yep.
And let me check when Genesis Ally Birdman came out.
The combo.
Gen X Ally Birdman, it was 2011. Oh, well, not yet, but in 2015 they also printed him in a structure deck. So a little bit after these cards came out. But yeah, it was the value of Hidden Arsenal for Trishula's Triumph was probably in the floor at this point. So yeah, no, that was a 2011 card.
Yeah.
So I don't know if DMD was actually hit yet, because I think that wasn't until because I think the Dragon Ruler format was a little after Hieratics. I think, in fact, there were some people who tried Hieratic Dragon Rulers, even though the levels don't line up.
I think so.
But at this point, you could conceivably do the combo of, if you don't know, Gen X Ally Birdman just says you can return a face-up monster to the hand to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. That's not a once per turn. So you could easily, if you make a tomb, you detach one, you summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal from your deck, you bounce it with Birdman, you summon back Darkness Metal, however you like, basically. And then you can summon another dragon without the zeroing out effect. And technically, before they did errata it to have both its effects be hard onces, because DMD has been errata that way, which I think was like a slight clarification because it was an earlier card, like it was from 2010. I think in the OCG it was already supposed to be hard once.
I think so.
It's just the TCG missed that and then just banned it instead of clarifying that. But they did errata it so its effects are specifically hard onces. But back in the day, it was a soft once. So you could do a lot of dragon advantage back in the day.
Yay.
But yeah, no. Atum is a pretty good card. Like, arguably, even today, if Dragon Rank 6 existed, Atum is still a pretty good card because it's special summon any dragon from your deck. Oh no, you can't attack the turn you can do it. Hey chat, you know what you can do? Because this is what I did. Thunder Gaia, the rank 7, says he can be overlaid over any rank 5 or rank 6 dragon for free.
Mm-hmm.
So just, you detach one off a tomb, you stick Gaia over him. You now have a monster that can attack for piercing. And you got a free Gaia out of your deck. No, so, like, yeah, this is a tomb, very good card. And was super originally. Like, very solid card in the strategy. And then your other big payoff was the 8 which is Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. This was directly called Seikoku Shinryu Eniado, hieroglyphic divine dragon Ennead, so referring to all the gods together to make him.
Mm-hmm.
And I do also like the color scheme here because Heliopolis is kind of red-orange. He's sun-colored, and he's got like a blown-out dark background behind him, so he fucking glows like he has become the sun.
I don't like this perspective, but I do like this design.
Yes, the roughly crotch height shot is a little much.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
Check
I didn't
out
wanna
my
say it.
massive
I mean, his dragonic cod piece is right there.
Didn't
It's even
wanna
got
say it, but
horns.
yes.
He's just showing it all out. You know. He's
Sorry,
proud
this
of
just
it, I
reminded me
guess.
of a joke. It was because that girl goes through models like crazy, but it reminds me of a joke about I think it was 2 Zentrea models ago.
I know Zen's it's insane the number of models.
And now she's insane with the number of voices, but it works for her. But I think it was her last cyber model. She was doing a collab with Matara Khan of Independent. And Matara was like, Zen, why is your hip and groin area looking at me? Because her robot design had a couple of lines which were kind of like a face, like right at the like pelvic bone level. And Heliopolis has the same thing. Like he's got weird little horns down there. I don't know, but otherwise this is a pretty cool design.
Yeah.
And again, they really nail the color scheme effect in this one.
You know, I hold nothing against this like design because of this angle. This looks like a really cool, is a fun design. Like, yeah, the angle makes him look really disproportionate, but that is just again the fault of this decision to draw this from this angle. But I get the idea of like, well, he is the sun, so he should be gigantic.
The idea is that, because Seal of the Heavenly, Dragon is supposed to like unfold into him, they did like a shot so it's like, no, he's like way up in the sky unfolding. But yeah, this is a light dragon, rank 8 Ixie, 3,000 attack, 2,400 defense, so solid stats for a rank 8. Any 2 level 8 monsters, like I said, was a completely generic 8. Once per turn, detach a material from this card, tribute any number of monsters from your hand or field, min 1. Destroy an equal number of cards on the field. Good card.
Yup.
Honestly, this card is hurt by the fact that it's a generic because any rank 8 deck could play it, and I know they did. But, like, this also would be, like, if you were playing Hieratics, would be a fuck ton of advantage. Like, your opponent your opponent has a board, you're like, cool, detach 1. I'm going to tribute, like, 3 Hieratic Dragons in my hand, blow up 3 cards in your board, all 3 of them proc, because I'm pretty sure none of them are, like, almost none of them are hard onces.
I think that's right, yeah.
So, like, hypothetically, you just get to unglue your hand, summon a bunch of guys on the field. So giving them a Link 2, by the way, was not like a wrong impression. It's just that, again, because it was completely generic, other decks decided to use Heavenly Spheres for evil. But no, this is a very solid card.
It's the tax on making cards that are too generic. It's the impulse tax. It's the in us making red layer and like blue layer, he's just a monster you can e-telly to do everything.
Yeah.
People will just start playing blue layer and e-telly as a 2-card combo because he just gets advantage. So it's good.
So before we talk about the spell traps, which, like I said, they have a pretty decent spell trap lineup. That's another area also, though, Konami, where, again, you're not bound by the Ennead, so you could do more of them. We have to talk about honorary member of the team, Watt-Tail Dragon.
I am going to have to head out here, but I will
All right.
see you all another time.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
We got through most of this stuff. So this is Watt-Tail Dragon, a.k.a. Elect-Tail Dragon.
Nice,
In
stuck
the
with me.
OCG. He's a big dragon. He's shocky.
Like, yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, he's pretty alright. He's very feathery, which is funny, but I think it works for his lightninginess. But if you're curious, chat, why this dragon? This is a level 6 light dragon with 2,500 attack and 1,000 defense. So it's basically a summoned skull. But that means that it is a level 6 you can summon from the deck off of the hieratic effects. That is much better than the Gemini monster. And also, if you have to hard summon it, it is like the single highest attack level 6 dragon in the game. So it's just a good guy. This one also has a very funny...
Out of it, it's good.
Yeah. It also has a very funny flavor text, because it's a normal. It says, capable of independent flight, attacks by wrapping its body with electricity and ramming into opponents. Important. Capturing the Wattail dragon is forbidden by the ancient rules and is a level 6 offense with the minimum sentence is imprisonment for no less than 2,500 heliocycles, which is either days or years. But the flavor text refers its level and its attack, and it is forbidden with the ancient rules because ancient rules is special summon a level 5 or higher normal from your hand, so it is ancient rulesable. Which is also, I think you would probably play Ancient Rules in this deck so you could free summon its balls, the level 8, as well as Wattail, so yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so like I said, Wattail was released in, also released in Galactic Overlord as a common. So it was released in the same set, so it is an honorary hieratic dragon because it's a light, normal dragon guy. So let's talk about their spell traps. There are, like I said, a few of them. But not literally one for each dragon. So first we have Hieratic Seal from the Ashes. It shows, speaking of Vesper talking about Heliopolis looking pretty cool from different angles, here literally is Heliopolis from a different angle.
Yeah.
But this is a continuous... it's called From the Ashes, but it was originally Hieroglyphic Seal of Revival. It's a continuous trap that says, once per opponent's turn, send a hieratic from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn during your turn, target one of your banished hieratics, return it to the graveyard. This face-up card is sent from the field to the graveyard. Target a hieratic in your graveyard, special summon that target. So this is a neat concept. Your hieratics don't have a real good way to get themselves back from banishment, but you can, like, they have chaos monsters to banish. And a Foolish Burial, even if it's on your opponent's turn, like, even then it's pretty good. Because you can summon from hand, deck, or graveyard, so getting them out of the deck so you don't draw them is not bad. And if your opponent actually bothers to pop it, you just get a free special summon. It's not terrible. Obviously, these days it's way too slow as a continuous trap. But back in the day, this would be worth playing. Or, again, would have been if it weren't for the fact this was a fucking secret rare.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, no. Like, definitely, this is, like, I should see if I can build... I can't play Heavenly Spheres because it's a Link monster, but I should see if there's a good rank 6/rank 8 deck I can play with Hieratics in Genesis. And also just, like, this is a great card for Cube for a hieratic theme. Like, if there's some kind of, like, normal monsters and dragons stuff you can do. I don't know, but yeah. Still a decent card, but again, way too slow. Speaking of their good spell traps, though, this is literally Hieratic Seal of Banishment. The OCG was Hieratic Seal of Obliteration, but I like Banishment better because it is literally a banish card. This has Tefnuit on it. Not really looking any better. I like that the colors are more muted, but, like, the cat mask is still weird.
Yeah, it's actually even more obvious here.
But yeah, this is a super simple. This is basically like Raigeki Break or Karma Cut. Tribute a hieratic, then target a card your opponent controls, banish it. So, you know, you do go minus, you know, like minus zero or -1 overall. But target any card your opponent controls and banish it. Very powerful. Not to mention, you know, yeah, you go +0. That's right, because your hieratic will almost always replace itself if it's tributed. So, like, this is a really good one. I think this was just, yeah, this was just a rare in Galactic Overlord, so I'm pretty sure my version of the hieratic deck was on 3 of these. And, like, I don't know, man. I think, honestly, if you were trying to play this deck legitimately, you would probably still play, like, 2 or 3 of this, because it's a normal trap that fucks your opponent's shit up. Like, it's still targeting, but does not send to graveyard, does not destroy. It just banishes. Very mean. Next is Hieratic Seal of Convocation. This is their E-Call. It shows Esset and Nebthet, flying at the call of the ball. Possibly playing some kind of ball game.
Chicken arise.
Yeah, kind of. But this is a normal spell that says add a Hieratic from your deck to your hand. This is not a once per turn. Like I said, much like E-Call. So, yeah. No, they've got good searchers. And this was a rare, so, like, pretty good card combos. Not much else to say about that. It just literally is add a Hieratic monster from your deck to your hand. Not a hard once. Not a cost. Also, something that was out here. This one was not super popular, but nowadays is like... Actually, no, that's right. This wasn't popular. This is one of their new support cards. I was wrong. They got like 3 new cards, so we'll talk about that one later. I didn't realize that they got a rank up Magic basically later. So we will talk about that in a second. Let's talk about their actual historical cards. So this one is Reflection. And this is their the archetype Omni Negates, their counter trap. It shows Atum with the Eye of Horus reflecting, because he's kind of doing a Mirror Force-like pose.
Yeah.
This is a counter trap. It says when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, tribute a Hieratic, negate, and destroy. Again, considering that you plus off tributing your own guys, pretty good. Yeah, so that means that they had 5 spell traps originally. I'm glad that they did get a spell trap, but... Well, this is another pretty sick art. Have you ever wondered what they would look like when they're transforming from the ball? Now you know. This is Hieratic Seal of Supremacy. And it's Heliopolis coming out the ball.
It's a bit busy, but still looks pretty cool.
Yeah, his flaming face emerging. Yeah, no, it's pretty sick. And this is very simple. Hey, once again, also not a hard once per turn, not any kind of once per turn. Hieratic Seal of Supremacy is just special summon a Hieratic from your hand. And honestly, this deck was, like, serviceable back in the day, but had a lot of back and forth. But I feel like very quickly was outpaced. And it is definitely, like... They had good tools, but they lacked the clinching. Sorry, I tabbed over to Twitter and had to retweet because MBT posted a reply to his later tweet about talking about how he wasn't sure about the last turn decision with, okay, I'm coming around to they shouldn't have to staff a last turn judge at events. Which was literally what I replied to his tweet about, is just like, yeah. All right, okay.
Like, how could this go bad?
So, that's all their spell traps. They're all pretty good. Let's talk about the elephant, a.k.a. the balls in the room. These guys have a Link monster. It was released in Dual Power, the set that had all the broken Link 2s. And this is a pretty good Link 2. It's been reprinted several times. This is Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. commonly referred to as Seal's Pass or Sphere's Pass. Hence the title of the stream, which technically I should not pluralize, but that's okay. Let's fix that right now. Let's fix that 2 hours and 15 minutes into the stream. Seal Pass. It's just all the other guys are like a planetary assemblage of balls.
Yeah, like a diorama.
I believe the planetary system. Sorry, I broke for a second there. The noun what you call a model of a planetary system is an orrery. With 2 R's. So Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres is a Link 2 light dragon. It's got left and right arrows in the corners. It's got 0 attack. It takes exactly 2 dragon monsters. And it says, once per opponent's turn, if this card's in the EMZ, tribute it. Tribute 1 monster in your hand or field, I should say. Return a face-up card from the field to the hand. If this card is tributed, special summon a dragon from your hand deck and make its attack event 0. You can only use this effect once per turn. So this is obviously really good for the deck because it gives you a thing to do with guys. If you get a bunch of extra bodies on field, you can link them away. And it gives you something to do going first because it can tribute itself, obviously, which lets you fetch a dragon from deck. But it can also tribute monsters from your hand or field, so, like, it can make your deck go. The problem is that, as we kind of discussed with, like, a Tomb and the rest of it, they don't have any other going first monsters, so if you were playing Hieratics, you would just make Hieratic Seal on turn 1 and pass, and hope that 1 bounce was enough. It is a non-targeting bounce, which is really good. But also, lots of dragon decks do this. Fuck. I had to do this in my Dragon Ruler deck that I made for Master Duel recently. Like, if you can't summon more rulers, Seal Pass. Spheres Pass.
Yeah.
And pray. Like, it's a good card, but it's not... I like that when they were thinking of Link monsters that decks needed, like, Hieratic was one they thought of. But, like, this is not enough to carry an entire deck. But it's cool. It's a good card. And even if it is, like, more widely used in other decks because it is semi-generic, it is just a Dragon Link monster, it's not super oppressive. Like I said, it's one of those cards that doesn't get you extra advantage. It only works as, like, a card for your opponent. So, yeah, it's very weird. But they also got a new rank 8 in Ghost from the Past, aka Selection 10. It's just Heliopolis again. This is Hieratic Sky Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. It's just Hieroglyphic Sky Dragon, Ennead. It's Heliopolis 2!
Yeah, he looks a bit bigger.
I think he's, like, consuming, like, a tomb. Because of the purple-black.
I mean, at least we're not seeing his fucking dragon card piece.
No, he's got a different pose. He's sick. So this is another. It's another completely generic 2 level 8 monsters. Light Dragon Xyz, same stats, 3k, 24. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card on your field, your graveyard, or your banished cards, quick effect, detach feature for this card, negate the activation if you destroy that card. So this is obviously gives you a turn 1 play in Hieratic. This is a good rank 8 because it gives you a kind of negate and destroy if your opponent does something that targets a card in your field, or in your graveyard, or your banished cards. So this can be a way to insulate your plays. The problem is that this doesn't do anything. Like, they gave them a good boss monster to, like, build a board around, but this doesn't do anything to actually advance your plays in Hieratic. Like, it doesn't tribute a card. Like, all this needed to be good in Hieratics is say then something like, after that quick effect to detach and negate and destroy is, then you can tribute a monster from your hand or field. But it doesn't, so it's just it's a cool guy, but it doesn't actually do anything for the deck. It's just another generic rank 8 card. Which, again, is, like, super sad. That's the other thing of this deck. They have really good spell trap cards. They don't have any spell trap searcher. Arguably, Konami, give me a field spell that gives me an extra normal of a Hieratic once per turn, and gives me the ability to, when this card is activated, add a hieratic spell trap from your deck to your hand. That would make this deck a real deck in modern terms. And then instead of a rank 1, give me a rank 4 that takes 2 dragons that can search that can detach to add the field spell. There you go. I fixed the deck. That's literally all we need. Make it Horus. Make Horus the rank 4. Boom. Because this is also another sick art. This is a tomb busting out of his ball. This is their other one that I talked about. This is their new spell card they got. Hieratic Seal of Creation. This is a normal spell.
Oh, you got the fucking sun coming up in the background.
Yeah, no, it's a cool art. So this is a normal spell card that says, target 1 Dragon Xyz monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 Hieratic Xyz monster with a different original name, using that target as material. This is treated as Xyz summon, transfers materials. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a Hieratic in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. You can only use 1 effect per turn, only once that turn. So yeah, they've got an in-archetype rank-up magic, basically. But also, it's not even a rank up. It's just a anything. So you can turn any Dragon Xyz, 4, 6, whatever, into a tomb or either of the Heliopolises. You could make Sky Dragon Heliopolis turn 1 for the protection, and then when it's time to blow your opponent's back out, you rank up into the pop one. Like, it's a good card, but again, unsearchable. Deck doesn't search spell traps. It only summons monsters from hand, deck, or graveyard. So, it is, one of those things that's like, it's good. It really does, like, help the archetype out because it gives them an archetypal way to summon their Xyz monsters, but also plays to the fact that they make a lot of good generics. But again, it's not searchable, so
it could be better.
Like I said, you could do the field spell to, like, do that, but also you could just make the rank 4, make a rank 4 detach 1. Or a rank 5. They've got 2 5s, something. But it's good, but it's an archetype that sorely could use some extra legacy support. 2 cards is cute, but was never going to be enough, especially because, like I said, the big Heliopolis doesn't do it, like, whatchamacallit, like, it doesn't do enough for the archetype to actually, like, make it good in its own deck. It's a cool, generic rank 8 negate you can make.
Nice idea. Could be done better, though.
Yeah. Like I said, they still could use a little more support. So it's cool, but it could be cooler. And that's gonna basically wind us down for the day. Next week we'll be back with the other half of Salamangreat. We only got through the front half of those guys. I literally am looking at them. Guess what? All the Salamangreat cards we have left is, I think, more. It's either more or the exact same number of cards we just did in Hieratics. The entire Hieratic archetype is smaller than the entire legacy support and spell traps of Salamangreats. Though, of course, one is an anime archetype, but still.
Oh, no,
make more cool Egyptian dragons. But this was voted on by our patrons. So you'll be able to, if you support us at the 5 and up level on our Patreon, to make sure to do the Patreon shill, you can vote in this topic poll. And usually, even though there are a decent number of patrons who can vote, the voting pool is relatively compact. So don't think that this isn't like a your vote doesn't matter thing. Like, if you did sign up to Patreon and voted in the poll, you will have a pretty significant impact on the results. So consider it.
Yeah, there's been times like the deciding factor has either been, a few votes or the fact that some people just don't vote.
Yeah. They were like, oh, like I know some people have told me like, oh, I checked the poll, what I wanted was already winning, so I didn't vote. You should still do that anyway because you never know when it's going to be a tie. And luckily, our community has grown out of it, knock on wood. But there used to be times when the community would deliberately engineer ties to be funny. I think I said how many times I hated that, so we just did stop doing that. Thank God. We do occasionally get ties, but they're less frequent, so I can amicably just break them. But yeah, no, you can support us on Patreon and vote on this. It also helps out the channel and stuff. Make sure to watch some of our previous episodes of Failed Portrayal and other things. So I'm just noticing how like nasally I'm getting. I'm a little stuffed up all of a sudden. Need to open my windows, let some fresh air in. Yeah. I think I've just been talking a little bit and not drinking as much water as I should be. I'll hydrate a lot after this. But yeah, this is a Patreon, like I said, was a Patreon poll. I don't know exactly what we're putting on. It'll be a few of those returning themes. I'm pretty sure because I put Hieratics on, I'm going to replace that with BES because that's such a Failed Portrayal archetype. So if you want to see BES next month, sign up, vote. Consider all your other supportees. Consider dropping this a like, share it with your friends and stuff. And like I said, we'll try and get some more cubes scheduled and try and maybe do some Genesis content, but obviously it is hard to keep together. Axe has a thing that he usually does, like a half hour to an hour after we start stream. Loth not only has, work to do occasionally, but also we're not yet in the time zone change. So like we're a little earlier for him.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we will be rotating back. We will fall back, as it were.
Streams nowadays start when I usually set my alarm to wake me up.
Yeah, so like it is kind of out there. Vesperia, sometimes has scheduling stuff going on. I know why Dallas isn't here this week. It's because part of the reason why we one of several reasons why we decided to end up canceling game on Sunday was also. Not only did you, Loth, get struck by the gods, but Dallas was also sick.
Oh yeah.
So we were already on a precipice scenario. So if Dallas didn't show up because he's sick, he either isn't feeling like it or just forgot because he's thinking about other stuff. Scheduling enough people together is hard.
I didn't get to explain it properly because it was text chat, but like the day before, it was like, oh, let's do a real life game, and we were all sweating buckets. Like all of us, like you could see the fucking sweat stains on our shirts. And then, like the tide receding, it was a sign because then we got fucking bucketed down with rain and eventually hail.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
You couldn't see two houses down the road because of how much fucking heavy the rain was.
Ugh. That is pretty intense.
Once that, you take a short walk from the covered bus stop to the bus, you're soaked. And that's not a short walk. That's like minuscule.
Yeah. No, so yes, it was lots of stuff were against us, but
because it was hailing, you got to see the wonderful thing, like similar to like birds hiding underneath cover. You got to see all these people like form a Tetris block of their cars underneath like any amount of cover that they could.
Yeah, pretty normal when you're hailing. But yeah, so let's say like why Dallas isn't here. So like I said, I have plans to be firing up some cubes and doing some other stuff, but it is a little hard right now with the way our schedules currently are to get enough people in to do them. So I don't know if usually Thursday is our day off. I don't know if we might have more free days to schedule or not. Pretty sure Axe also does something on Thursday. Like I don't know when I can like re-pull in Axe because I feel like he's got a lot of commitments most days. Maybe this is why we had a little conversation at the start of the show, but maybe this is why Axe feels like he can't spend as much time in Vintage Story as the rest of us because he has multifold scheduling, and like Lucky and I are just like, well, are we streaming tonight? No, we could play Vintage Story.
Oh yeah, I do apologize for having not been on the server because I see Lucky has been taking over a bunch of cleaning, not cleaning, cooking stuff.
Yeah, he's
Well, I've
mastering
been
his
out of it.
cooker technology.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you do sign in and do some gathering. I know he said he's going to be back later, but we're just vamping now, so we're going to let you guys go, chat. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you watch some more. Again, share with your friends, share with your enemies. I don't care, and check out some previous stuff. Yesterday, we finished in a quite long stream, Act 1 of the CRPG Rogue Trader by Alcat Games, and tomorrow we'll be back with more Final Fantasy XIV. So thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye now.